It
Yeah,
says,
I figured it out, you sons of
it
bitches.
says the stream is. We're gonna curse all. Are we just gonna?
You
I'm like,
you
what,
dirty bastards.
I got in here and you called me. What'd you call me? You said you mother. Did you call me a motherfucker?
No, I think I called you a little bastard.
A little bastard. I mean, come on. I actually know
Here's
who
that little
I know who my
bastard.
parents are now. If I think it took 60 years or so to figure that one out, but we know we're going through a list. So, how
Hey
was
Evan,
you?
how are you doing? Happy New Year.
Horrible, absolutely horrible.
I'm sorry.
Some of which we went over before we. How have you been? I haven't talked to you in a
Uh,
couple of weeks. How was your New Year's?
Very low key.
I was sick. I slept through it. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think I got sick after at the JHU party.
Yeah. Was that fun?
It really was. It was a lot of fun. But I ended up coming home with so much food and alcohol, and I decided to try to eat the foods to not let it go to waste. I
That
think
makes
that was
sense.
the start of my downfall for January.
Yeah.
Was just I'm eating way too much garbage. At hi baby cat, hi Winky. It's so funny that she always zeroes in on me at the beginning of whenever I do a Zoom meeting or we do the live cast. She seems to know that I'm going to be hunkering, and then she gets sick of me. She doesn't like show up at the end. Hello, hi. She punching me in the face.
She's yeah. What
She sat on my head in bed. She woke me up at one point. I've been my sleep schedule's been a nightmare. This is not what we wanted to talk about. Anyway, so what did you guys do for New Year's? Nothing. You just hung out,
no, just nothing really. Yeah.
watched a couple of movies or something.
Yeah, I forgot. Well, I have a list here actually. So
Did you watch New Year's Evil?
no, I did not.
I've
Which is
still
not
never.
a good. It's
It's
not a
supposed to be
good.
terrible. I've never
It's
seen it though. It's not
it's not.
on. Today I was officially informed that we no longer have Amazon Prime, so there goes a source of movies for me, which I don't mind because fuck them. I try to
I
do as
mean,
little business with Amazon as possible anyway. So Sarah's like, it's expensive. We don't really need it, and I'm like, oh, I'm all for it.
right.
I feel bad. I went into Target to buy a ream of paper. It's the first time I've been in there in since the boycotts hit. And I'm like, it's the only one that like I. The thing is, the boycotts are easy for me because I don't buy that kind of stuff. I don't buy coffee. I don't go to Dunkin' Donuts. I don't go to Starbucks. I'm really, like if they all of a sudden said, you can't buy monsters. You know what I mean? Or you can't watch horror movies. I'm
Yeah.
like,
Who
oh
who
fuck.
presides over that? Who actually does
I'm
Happy
not
New
quite.
Year?
I'm not quite sure. Somebody named Shabazz, I think. I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't know why I even said that. But I have absolutely no. Hi, Winky. Hi, Winky. But I was watching this. I was looking at these things, and then it was like all this stuff that you can. Oh, I like your icon of Winky there.
That's
Thank
cute
you.
as hell.
All these things to boycott, and I go through them, and I'm like, yeah, where can I start? And I'm like, I've never even heard of this company. Like four or five, there were 30 companies on this list that this guy provided, and I'm like, all the tech ones I've never heard of. Like, oh, you use this for your, and I don't know what this is. I absolutely have no idea what this is.
Right.
It's this,
Right.
I'm like, I had a situation that happened that I'm like, I had to try to learn to, like, how do you find somebody's name? How do you find out who somebody is just from their email?
Right.
And it was a bit of an emergency, and I won't get into it, but I ended up spending all this money going on these sites, and they said, I do all this stuff. Okay. And then they go, oh, and it's $1. Okay. $1's not, and you don't have, there's no information. I'm like, come on, that's really rude.
Evan, I just realized you're framed really kind of crazy in this.
It's
You're this little man
yeah.
in
Hi.
this.
I got a new camera,
Right.
and it works. As you can look, this is the
And
best.
yeah, there's no pausing, there's no gurgling.
Well, I've got a new computer. I've got a new camera.
I
I've got
don't drink. Uh,
He's drinking water. I think we're both drinking water, probably.
yeah, I don't drink. I'm high as a kite, but I don't
Sometimes you
do
do.
that.
Sometimes you
Yeah.
do.
Well, I'll have a beer occasionally at dinner.
Yeah.
I'm not,
You have a
straight
Miller
edge.
Lite.
I'm not straight edge.
We're going out. We're going out this Thursday. Hopefully, I'm hoping to have a couple
Right.
of drinks, and because I need it, I probably really do need to get drunk. I should probably bring some beer on the ferry and just start right off because I've just had I've basically been in bed for most of January.
Mm.
I've been sick. And then depressed, which is just part of it. And then I fell down again. Bye, Winky. Winky doesn't want to hear this stuff. Hello, Xavier. Hello, everybody. So yeah,
Hello.
I fell down in my house 1 year to the day that I fell down in Shoprite and
Right.
fucked myself. I still have.
Which seems like a curse, right?
It
Not just you
does. I
being an
feel like
old
I've had
man,
the
right?
worst. It's like the dullest
So
curse.
what's this day? What are we looking for next
January
year?
10th. Look out for if I die.
That's
I'll get
nice.
January because I was in bed after I fell and I fell really badly. Actually, I still have headaches. I hit my head. I hit my arm, and I fucked up my back because I'm old. I'm 60
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
So I don't bounce. My sister was like, "Well, you get up again. It's like the song. You get up," and I'm like, "But I get up slower every time."
Yeah, I know.
I
You
get
lose
knocked down and then I kind of drag my ass up
it.
again. So yeah, is this better? Look, you see, I was only in that position because I had the cat on me.
Oh, I'm sorry, Evan, that I doubted you.
You're gonna be a real fucking dick.
What are
First
you
of all, if you're
talking
gonna be,
about?
you should have sent me some shit to get high on myself
How
because
dare you?
I have got such a bad headache right now. So folks, this is gonna be really. I don't know if this is gonna be fun.
Oh well.
I can't move my head. Can't move my head. I can't move my head. Nice Dutch angle on Paul. What do you got? Something against the Dutch? You trying to take Greenland over, Jim Haku? The fuck are you doing? What bear? Paul, do you have a beef with a bear? What's this all
Yeah.
about?
Yeah, it's on Instagram. There's actually
Oh,
up the street from ancestral Miller's house.
oh,
There's
really?
a guy who has this fucking bear out there.
Yeah.
And
So is this bear like your Marty the robot that I have a beef with?
no, well, Marty's back at my stop and
Oh,
shop too. And it is fucking even worse than before. All it does is get
I
in your
hate it.
goddamn way.
Yeah,
It's
he.
it's insanity.
It doesn't. I really just think there's somebody operating it who's looking through the camera,
Well, I
and
would
they're
like
just
that. That's my job, right? You
I
do
mean,
that, right?
right, and they're just laughing. They're just like, "Hey, look at this schmuck. Here's
Yeah,
another schmuck
yeah.
who hates
Try to get
Marty."
your Cheerios, you
I bet he's on
bastards.
Instagram now. This sad bastard. Marty follows me now. I swear to God, I feel like he's Marty.
Well, I mean, are you acting shifty?
Um, yeah. Yeah. I have to. I was gonna try to. I'm not. No, no. I'm acting shifty. I'm kind of sneaking around. I'm taking pictures of him. I'm giving him the finger. I'm posting him. I kind of gave him. I gave him some reason to. But he pissed me off first by merely existing.
Oh,
I mean, nobody
he didn't
takes.
ask to be born,
All
Evan.
he really does is go around and see if something's spilled, and I'm like, a decoy to distract him. Of what? Like what? Who wants to be my double? You know, some Dostoevsky bullshit. Go, hey, we're gonna get Marty today. You're gonna dress up like me. Marty doesn't care
What do you
about
want
that.
to do tonight? I don't know,
I
Marty.
don't know. I don't know, Marty. You walk around Stop and Shop, see if something spills.
With a
Yeah.
fucking googly eyes and someone draws a mouth on me every once in a while.
Googly eyes. Googly eyes behind you. Look.
What? No.
Ah! You've got Marty eyes. You've got You've got Marty Davis eyes.
Yeah, I don't. You gotta
White
work.
white people are not funny. I just realized that a few months
Uh,
ago. Not funny. Not
Oh
funny.
man.
So this is one of the things that I've been doing is going through. This is one of the things I did in 2025. I finally got this
Right.
damn book, and I've been trying to do the psychotronic on it. Tick off as main reason is not just to go like, oh, I've got them all down. It's because I can't read the chapters on them because I don't want to spoil these amazing movies.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Like what if I don't want to know how God Monster of Indian Flats ends?
Right.
Good thing I already saw
I'm
that.
I'm not even being a dick. I
Yeah.
fully agree with you. It's like
Yeah.
if you're gonna sit down and watch these shitty movies, you might as well,
Some of them haven't
you
been
know.
bad though, but I mean, I am hitting. But the thing is, I got to say, most of them you and I have seen, and probably
Yeah.
most, which is I'm not complaining, but I mean, an interview with the guy who did "Don't Go in the Woods Alone," that's worth big bucks. No whammies. Wait, what are you drinking? That's not water. Tea?
Oh, yeah, it's iced tea. It's unsweetened iced tea.
Ah, I have unsweetened water. This was
Really?
an Animal Crossing glass. Oh, look at this fascinating Orson Wellesian. Look at. Ooh, it's the man
I
stuff.
am I am very not used to your computer and your camera working this well. This
Oh,
is like
now
awesome.
you can see the bullshit clearly, right?
No. For some reason, I can't focus right now.
Because you're high.
No, that's how dare you?
You're like
I was gonna say, look, we don't
to the
condone
mouth.
that, right?
What?
Oh boy,
What?
look who's
Hi,
around. Hey,
Scott.
Scott.
What time is it in merry old UK, Starmers, UK? 3D
If you
Hot
don't know
Seat?
Scott, Scott's been on our show a
Yes.
bunch of times. I think he's
This is
our
weird. Oh, you know what this reminds me of? It's his the Inner Sanctum movies. They would start with the 1940s. I've only seen one of them, and it wasn't. They're all Lon Chaney, and you're supposed to believe that Lon Chaney is like a businessman or a lawyer who
right,
just
and not just some thug who doesn't really
right,
know where he is.
a drunk who sleeps on his dogs. He loves his dog. Apparently, there's pictures of him as the werewolf sleeping on his dog. I'm not kidding. It's actually very cute. He had a German Shepherd,
Okay.
and uh, but anyway, poor Lon Chaney.
Yeah.
Poor Lon Chaney. But
True.
what was his real name? What did they call him? I'm trying to remember now. What he had a very weird, not Laird. That's Laird Krieger.
Did he have like a little
his,
rascal's name?
hey, the last of the Little Rascals just died. They're all gone. Boing.
Really?
Yeah, I
That's
let
not
Mitch.
something to laugh about. I'm
Well, the
sorry.
only reason I remember is because I had to tell Ronnie Hill immediately. Of course, I was like, but Woyam, the guy who played Woyam, Butch's.
Really? How
Of all
old
the,
was he?
I believe that there's some people who are now millionaires because that's who they bet on in the new world that we live in. Where
Right. Right.
am I going to
FanDuel.
shoot the president? Is the president going to shoot me? Unbelievable now that we have people betting on tragedies and politics. It's disgusting.
Oh, Scott says it's 1 a.m. But
1 a.m. That's a good hour. That's when I start. That's when I usually eat lunch.
yeah.
Yeah, I need to get off this schedule. It's not good.
I'm
It's
sorry.
actually driving me mad. Well, getting up at night, getting up in the dark, and going to sleep in the dark is, after a few weeks of that,
Uh,
makes you, even if you don't mind it, it does make you a little crazy to not see this.
well, not when we were kids. When we were kids, that didn't bother us.
No, no nothing. When I was first living out of the house, and I got up at 5 o'clock at night, but I can't do this anymore. This is fucking me up really badly. I mean, I'm becoming crazy
Yeah.
from this. So what are we gonna? One of the things I do want to ask is if anybody's watching with us today.
Yes.
I've only seen 4 movies that were actually released in 2025. So you're gonna have to take up the slack on that end of things if you've seen more stuff from the last year. I watched a lot. I watched
Well,
about 6 months.
yeah.
I think I watched. I know.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying. But if people have anything from 2025 that they want to recommend,
right.
because I don't have a lot of service, I just lost Amazon. Well, we just gave up on Amazon Prime
Well,
because fuck 'em.
and also, like, the thing is, Prime, 90% of the shit they have on there, Tubi has,
And they have.
and it looks better half the
I
time.
know Amazon Prime. I really didn't use it.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Not to watch stuff.
Tubi has actually, real quick, because I know I love Tubi, even though I think it's Fox. But Tubi has just loaded up on really good 70s shit. I mean,
Oh yeah. Yeah.
between the Giallo and the 70s US horror and British,
Right.
they just got all the Corman stuff,
Yeah.
which I never saw.
I told Stevie the other day that I wish they would pay someone or a team of people to kind of curate stuff. So in other words, instead of the categories that are kind of goofy and horror comedy, but if you could go to Tubi and you got to say, Taking a Pelham 1, 2, 3, they would show you other movies and it would be more curated to say, oh, do you want to see 70s films? Oh, you seem to like stuff like this. I don't understand why we don't get that.
They do that recommendation thing that they do is not terrible. The problem, the one thing I wish that, I would even pay a couple of bucks. I'd be like, can you please stop sending me the things I've already seen? The recommended is just, at this point, I've seen the entire Giallo section that they have.
Right.
Except for like 1 or 2 films. So I would just like, is there any way to kind of go deeper than this?
Right.
because I'm trying. They just keep sending me the same stuff. It's not as bad as Netflix, which only seems to have 20 movies at any given time. I mean, Netflix is supposed to be the number one thing on the whole fucking planet for entertainment, and every category has the same movies, movies with the letter A in it, movies that we want you to watch, movies we were paid to promote. It's fucking ridiculous. Thrillers, and there's Abbott and Costello, hit the ice in there, or what. They don't even have fucking Abbott and Costello. I mean, Netflix. I almost like never go to Netflix, but I'm
Yeah.
starting to run out of stuff on Tubi because it's my number one go to. Like I did a bunch of '70s movies earlier this week, and I ended up finding them on YouTube.
Mm.
And uh, I unfortunately, okay, this is the worst, probably the worst night I spent in my life recently. Was I watched A Night to Dismember, the Doris Wishman horror movie, right? And there's two versions of it, and I watched them both back to back
Right, because you're fucking crazy.
because I'm an idiot. And the
Yeah.
funny thing is, they are really different,
Yeah.
but they're both horrible. I
Right.
mean, just horrible.
Did,
But they're completely different movies because
yeah.
the one that's famous, well, infamous, is the one that's got the porn actress Samantha Fox, who paid. Apparently, Doris Wishman has been telling everybody she's dead now, so she's not. Except her ghost is on the DVD track, commentary track. Apparently, she
Yeah.
tells everybody that somebody at the uh, the the film processing plant, the business that was processing the movie, was mad at them or mad at their boss and committed arson and
Okay.
destroyed A Night to Dismember. So she had to reshoot it with whatever survived. She had to reshoot. It turns out Samantha Fox paid her $2,000 to star in the movie, and she
Okay.
just went and made a new movie.
Okay.
It
Okay.
was all it's bullshit
That's great.
because the
That's
stuff
great.
all is now available. And the original movie, the one that was not destroyed but thrown to the under the bus, makes sense. It's terrible, but it makes sense. The one that she made afterwards it's like watching things with the sound. It doesn't. It's just
Oh
horrible.
man,
It's
that's
one
not
of, it's one
good.
of the worst things I've
That's
ever
not
watched in
good.
my life. So immediately I watched the director's cut or whatever.
Oh
Not
right, of
whatever.
course. And you didn't fast forward or anything and learn. You just went through it, right?
No, I did answer some DMs during parts that were doubled up.
Okay.
I was like, wait, I've seen this amazing scene where the
Well,
guy's walking.
do you remember the story when back in the day when Netflix was mail order and you would get DVDs?
And I didn't use it, but yeah,
Pat had a subscription, and
of
he
course.
was getting up because he was always obsessed with
Pat
getting
Miller,
the
by the way, for folks who have followed us over the years, it's a Pat Miller story.
right, right.
Yeah.
You'll get an AI overview of Pat Miller.
Pat Miller was an asteroid cluster.
So, so he gets a movie, and we sit down and we watch it, and it's kind of terrible. And a week later, he comes over and he puts in a movie, and we're watching. I'm like, is this something? I was like, wait, didn't we watch this last week? And I'm like, no, this is different. He had ordered Lisa and the Devil and House
Oh,
of Exorcism,
right,
and they
right.
had come like a week or a week or two apart.
That's
And
funny.
it really, because we didn't know what the hell was going on. It was kind of scary.
Right.
It was like a
It's like,
senior
are we
moment.
are we doing draw with somebody dope in the water?
Exactly.
Yeah, I saw Lisa and the Devil first.
Yeah.
No, I saw House of Exorcism. What's it called?
House of the Devil. No,
House
it's House of Exorcism. Hold on.
It's terrible. So
Well, I think
I
the
didn't understand what people remember. It was when it finally did come to Netflix or something. They had
House
both.
of Exorcism.
They had both. One's a red cover with the same art and the green cover. And
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah, yeah.
what if I? And I ended up watching the really bad one. But I got to tell you, I think Lisa and the Devil's also terrible.
They're both terrible.
I know but people are like Lisa and the Devil. Blah blah blah. There's like two good scenes in it, and I
There's,
love Mario Bava.
look, there's a lot. There's a lot. Back in the day, you didn't have a lot of giallo and Italian horror. It wasn't
Right.
easy to get. It honestly, it's probably only in the last 10 or 15 years that it's really easy to get this stuff.
Yeah, I just watched something. What the hell? I just watched something like 2-3 days ago. It was a giallo, but what the hell? God, I'm trying to remember. Deadly Inheritance,
Oh, what is that?
1968. It's just on Tubi. I mean, it
I got to tell you, when I see a movie that's a giallo but it's in the '60s and it's not made by Mario Bava or
right.
somebody, like I
Yeah.
get a little worried.
This was actually an enjoyable nonsense, but it is a giallo. You don't know who's going around killing people. And I
Okay.
do believe that there were gloves at some point. I mean, it's more of a crime thing, but
Sure.
it was an enjoyable, goofy. It has a twist
Distraction.
ending. Yeah, it was fun. It was a fun little movie. People getting hit by trains.
Right.
you,
Well,
but it definitely is like it's an Italian movie with stalkings and murders, and nobody knows who's doing it, and there's twists and turns.
right, right.
But it's kind of lighthearted. It's got the characters are a little wacko. Hey, what am I doing there? Like, what
Oh
am I?
Jesus, I didn't think I was doing that. Hold on. We're back.
Bum, bum, this is fun. I like having a new camera. Bum, 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 Tenebrae.
So I rewatched something. If this might go along with what we're saying, is
Yeah,
I
let's
just
get into it.
rewatched House with Laughing Windows,
I love that movie.
and it's been restored.
I'm
It
gonna rewatch
looks
that.
gorgeous.
I
Uh,
recommend that. That's one of my big. When people do a thing online, they're like, "What's a movie that doesn't have enough people don't like seem to know about?" And that's on my top 10
yeah,
list.
again, I don't think it was that easy to get
No,
that long ago. Plus, like I said, it's just been restored.
but there's so many companies now that are just these, scrambling and finding what's digging up these movies. It's
Mhm.
terrific. I
Yeah.
like his. He's the guy who also did Zeta, right? Poopy, I think his name is. PI. I know it's. I know. I'm a kid too. But something. But I've seen like three or four of his films, and they're all at best they're at worst they're interesting, and
Right.
at best House of Laughing Windows is just terrific.
What I was amazed with is
And
how
Vader is a zombie film that's really creepy. It's not like the most amazing thing you've ever seen, but I like it a lot.
the House with Laughing Windows amazed me rewatching it, that it doesn't have a lot of shit thrown at you. It's not like
Yeah,
a Fulci film
yeah,
or a you know whatever film, Argento. It,
Lamberto
it
Bava or anything like that.
yeah,
Yeah,
there aren't a
it's
lot of kills,
his stuff's mellow.
but
It's
it's just,
interesting.
but yet all of it is creepy and unsettling.
Yeah,
Every second of the movie is creepy and unsettling.
yeah. It's
And
and it's just really interesting characters. He really digs into characters nicely.
but do you feel, and I think I've talked to you about this before, but doesn't it remind you so much of a weird kind of Italian giallo version of Don't Look Now, in the
Huh.
sense that it has these similar, I mean, it's very superficial. You have a guy who's doing a restoration in like a churchy place, and weird shit's happening,
Right.
right? And I don't think the plots are very similar, but they're both very stylized. Um,
They're both downers.
when you watch this movie for the first time and you understand what the house with laughing windows means
Yeah,
exactly,
yeah.
it is actually kind of amazing. It's like, wow,
It's just
it's an interesting scene. You know what I mean?
sure. Oh no,
It looks really good.
I really like every aspect of the film. I mean, it looks great. I like the characters. Unlike a lot, here's how you know House of Laughing with the Laughing Widows is different. I actually cared and felt terrible for a character because you really don't in most
Well,
giallo because they're really just they're pins that are set up to be knocked down in a really fun way.
right, but don't you also find it's like there's some choices in the script, the plot, that seems so odd to me, and I don't know if what I'm missing in it, and it isn't really giving anything away, but you have a character comes to a place and
It's
meets,
rural Italy.
right, and meets, and where he's staying, there's a teacher across the hall who's likes to fool around with whoever, and he
Yeah.
has a small thing with her, and then she's gone, and then instantly replaced with a kind of younger version of that character.
Yeah, well, Giallo also has a lot of doppelgangers and doubles. I mean, I'm not like great on this
Yeah,
stuff.
what
I just watched Tenebrae, and that just doubles every. Tenebrae is
it's
Tenebrae is a movie I
brilliant.
did not like when I first saw it.
I know.
When
Yeah.
we did our Giallo episode of our first episodes of the podcast, I was really tearing my hair out on some of these things, and now I think Tenebrae is one of my favorites. Like I could watch it probably every day, every other day in a week, and not get bored
Right.
because I watched it just now for I think the third time, and the first time I couldn't stand it.
Yeah.
And by the time I watched it the second time, I got over my need for everything to make sense in Giallo. But the funny thing is about Tenebrae is that it makes more sense than any fucking Argento film out there.
Right. Yeah,
It
it actually makes it's
actually
almost a meta
yeah.
kind of commentary on it
Well,
too.
that's the thing that's really brilliant about it is that Argento, whether you agree with him or not, had a real agenda here to defend himself. And Tenebrae is about himself to a large degree. It's about the character, the writer. Tenebrae, if anybody hasn't seen it, it's on Tubi, and if you have an ad blocker, you won't see anything. You can just watch it all the way through. That's one thing that happens. Sarah put an ad blocker on my computer, so once again, Tubi, I have no commercials. I hope that lasts forever. But it's about Anthony. Is it Anthony Franciosa? No, it's
Uh,
who is it?
oh shit! Hold
I
on.
confuse him. I confuse the guy who's in Tenebrae with the guy who's in uh, Cat o' Nine Tails.
Right. There's one's a Planet of the Apes guy. One isn't.
That's James Franciscus. I think this is Anthony Franciosa. Is
Why
in,
can't
and he's actually.
remember when fucking Google used to
Oh
work?
yeah. The funny thing about it is that usually the performances in
Anthony
Argento films,
Franciosa. Yeah.
yeah, he's fucking terrific in it. When you watch it,
Absolutely. Yeah. He's
it's
wonderful.
kind of like watching a Columbo episode more than once because you start to notice
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
Franciosa. He's locked in to this role. Unlike a lot of people,
yeah.
he's locked in to this role, and he's really thinking. You can see he's going, "What is my character making of this? What is my character?" He's read the script.
Right.
I know this sounds nuts, but he's read the script and thought about it, which is
Well,
amazing. There are times when you can see him around certain characters, and he's "Don't touch me." He's not making a big deal of it, but he's backing away from physical contact. I never caught that before, but he actually goes a little. But
I know I've said this before, but like when Brian and I first saw Tenebrae, we saw the version that was called Unsane, which is a horribly cut up version of it. So yeah, I hated it in the beginning too, but I find it so comfortable. What's his name?
You've used that word "comfortable" for a bunch of these films lately, and I find that that's what's happened. I've been rewatching a lot of movies because I'm actually in such a need of comfort,
Right,
and escapism that I've been watching a lot of giallo, a lot of 80s and 70s horror stuff that I like, and some of the old Universals I revisited during the year. This year I rewatched a ton. Ooh, right, yes. Yeah, Tubi is ridiculous because also sometimes you'll type in something wrong and you'll see 20 fucking movies you didn't know they had.
Yeah, right. Well, because it that's the thing. Back in the day when Netflix was streaming, you could kind of look at everything. And I was crazy at the time. I would look like page through on the computer, just like, oh, what's available? What's available? Oh, that looks good. Because search never really works. And again, you never know what you're in the mood for.
Yeah, the other day I decided I have never seen a why am I blanking out? Rudy Ray Moore film.
Right.
I've seen so many clips that I thought I had seen. So I ended up watching Petey Wheatstraw on Tubi, and then I didn't know he only made like 4 films. I always thought he made like a million.
No.
So I ended up watching all of his films. I ended up watching Disco Godfather.
Right.
What's the character? Dolomite. I watched Dolomite. I watched Human Tornado, which is the second Dolomite film. I mean, they're like the same film 4 times in a row. Although Petey Wheatstraw is absolutely fucking deranged. And they're all crazy.
Right.
And
And this
but Petey Wheatstraw is deranged. It's got the devil, it's got demons, it's got
right,
kung fu, it's got sex comedy, it's got
right.
stand up.
There's this category of so good they're bad movies made by people that you kind of don't think, like, you either like them or you think they're having a good time, like Doler, right? You watch a Dan Doler film
Oh, I love that. Yeah, I
and
love
you
that.
go, "Oh, wow, I enjoy his films." I don't know why, they're fucking terrible, but I
But
can
they're
watch them.
but
But they're
they're like when I see that guy George, I forget the actor's name, that
yeah,
Cuban
yeah,
guy,
you
I
smile.
get I get so happy when he shows up, and I feel, Night Beast takes his head off or whatever. I'm like,
Right,
oh, George. I
right,
I just there's something about Don Doler's films that I find very comfortable.
right,
Yeah,
and the Dolomite stuff,
I thought it
all
was
the
hilarious.
all the Rudy Ray Moore stuff is just fun.
I haven't
Uh,
watched the one where he took a kung fu movie and spliced himself.
oh yeah, that's
That was tough.
cancelable. Yeah,
What?
that's got some rough stuff in it.
Really?
Yeah, you couldn't show clips of that. Well, because they do what they okay. Do you remember back in the day? Uh,
Real quick, if we get back to podcasting, we should just do Tenebrae because there's so much to talk about
right,
it.
we should. I'm sorry.
Because
Look,
oh no,
blame me. It's my fault.
it's
This
all
is
right.
all
Yeah,
my
but
fault.
no, but it's funny because Tenebrae. One of the things is I saw Tenebrae kind of early when I was trying out Argento again, and if you gotta kind of have some it works, but if you've watched more Giallo and you've watched more Argento, you can really see how front loaded that thing is.
Look, if
I'm really curious about who he wrote it with because it's the tightest script. It's even tighter than his Animal trilogy, where things kind of made some sense.
I think it's these weird things with the patterns.
Yeah.
Like I said when we were talking before about kind of it's almost like a meta
Oh, it is, but it is.
commentary. Like Argento has these things that he does a lot. The killer, is it who you think it is?
Right.
There's usually something you haven't seen or you've
Right.
seen and you've misinterpreted it.
Well,
And
they have,
in Tenebrae,
but it's fascinating. The lead character is not the one who does that.
right,
It's
is but the thing is
yeah,
but in
it's
Tenebrae,
all in there.
they're talking about that. They're
Yeah,
literally saying because the character writes fucking Giallo
yeah,
novels.
yeah.
S-
And
You
and
know,
and and it's but the thing is, it's got other than um, uh, Deep Red, which
right.
probably is my favorite
Well, that's probably his
overall.
masterpiece, right? That's pretty
Yeah, I
brilliant,
mean, but the thing is, Tenebrae has everything he's done shoved like
Right. Yeah.
10 pounds of Argento in a 5
Yeah.
pound bag. I
Yeah.
really want to know who his co-writer is on this because and the thing is, he does this the tricks in this one are so
He's just on IMDb, it's just listed as him.
well. I was pretty sure in the credits there was somebody else.
Okay, I'll click and see.
Because usually nobody just no one person writes a giallo.
Well, he
Usually
might have just
everybody
wrote notes, like, because I think this was all also his dream shit when he had anxiety over
yes,
stuff.
somebody was stalking him supposedly, and that's
Yeah.
part of it. But I mean, he's got his ex-girlfriend or in there who doesn't want to be in the movie.
Well,
There's
his
so much
wife, yeah.
tension. They were never married, apparently.
Oh,
It
they
turns
weren't. I thought
yeah,
they were married.
but everybody says they were married. But I mean, the doppelgangers in here, and the fact that he's got his animals from the early, you know what I mean? He's got animals, he's got his dogs, he's got his breakdown of Giallo, his breakdown of crime fiction. He's actually got two detectives that do their jobs,
Right.
which nobody in most Giallo does that. I mean, you like the two cops.
Yeah. Well,
I
you love John Saxon in anything.
He's
He's so good.
I love him in that. It's
Yeah.
funny because you kind of like, how did John Saxon not end up in a million Giallos, considering he was in the first one?
Well, he was in a bunch of Italian horror stuff
Right,
at the time.
right. But he was never really in Giallos. He's in a lot of cannibal shit, and he's in a lot of.
I think he's in the documentary on the
crime.
police. Yeah,
Yeah,
the crime
he
stuff.
does a lot of the police stuff.
I
but it's
think
really
John
funny.
Saxon. Yeah, I think they
He's
interviewed him.
he's so fun in that. I mean, but there's so much detail that's really funny. The shtick with his hat. There's a lot of stuff that is not normally in a Argento
Right.
or Giallo film. I mean,
Right.
it's actually like you feel like he was watching Hitchcock steadily, because that whole scene with Saxon's death, it's the cornfield, except they couldn't afford a plane, so
Right,
you
right.
know, it's just somebody sticking them.
But
Because the shoes, that amazing scene where he's killed, and you start to think it's his. You think it's a character because of the shoes, but they're not walking away; they're walking towards him. A lot of, I mean, this sounds condescending, but there's a lot of smart, I mean, really smart stuff in this movie. Every death is for a I mean, the only thing in the movie that there's obviously things that you can pick apart, because giallo and horror is always going to have some inconsistencies.
well, the biggest problem is he fucking rides a bike to Kennedy Airport. Every time you
Right.
watch the beginning of that, I'm
Yeah.
going, how the fuck? That's the area where the
It's
mobile
ridiculous.
station is, that
Yeah.
island, and I'm just riding
He's
the
just the
bike. What are you out
happiest
of your
schmuck on earth. But
fucking mind?
what's really but the movie covers itself so fucking well. It's like he can't be the murderer. The
Well,
murders take place while he's still on a plane.
right, right, right.
There's so much more logic than is necessary for Argento.
And you could almost feel, because it's Argento, that he might be just not paying attention to that, or giving a weird
but
explanation to that.
There's a lot of attention paid to it. I mean,
Yeah.
the cops actually come in and just immediately go. I mean, the cop is very Columbo-like with him. They like each other. They hang out, and they're not fighting at each other. They're a really interesting. I mean, they set up the whole thing that you've watched these movies before, the meta quality that you were talking about, and they're like, Franciosa is our hero. He's got to go figure out who the killer is.
Right.
That's a major part of the movie, but not in the way it usually is.
Hmm.
And then the way that they keep making you think anybody could be the killer is the red herrings are done really well.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
for all you know, it could be Daria Nicolodi.
I hate to say it. It's one. I think
it's terrific.
If you're not going to pay attention to it, I could see you not liking it.
Right.
Because it kind of is. It did take me a couple of watches where I remember the exact puzzle of the mystery. You know what I mean?
Right. But, it's confusing because if you watch it thinking that you remember everything, you're like, wait, okay, wait a second. I'm remembering very basic information here. It's like, his bag getting screwed with. I mean, you feel like it could be a conspiracy between multiple players.
Right.
The only things that don't work is if you want to nitpick it, is the cops, while they themselves make sense more than most Italian police in any Italian movie, the idea that there's a serial killer out there and they don't have backup ever, and that they don't use the whole police department, is insane. The fact that there's no cops outside protecting people, there's just these two cops. Meanwhile, five people have been slaughtered with pages from a book shoved in their mouth, and the entire country knows about it, and yet somehow the police are, fighting guys in the police station, and hookers. They're not doing anything. And the other thing is the huge coincidence of the daughter of the hotel the hotel owner finding her way into the death lair is nuts. It's the only thing that still doesn't really work for me. But that she happens to be chased by dogs and finds, the mad scientist lair, let's call it, is nuts. But it's really well done.
There's a lot of moving parts. There is a lot of moving parts.
The way that they emphasize the razor. You don't even realize that there's a razor and then there's an axe. I mean, there are so many working parts in it. And they're not just visual working parts like most of his other films. I mean, they're just, and the set pieces are all really, really good.
Yeah.
I even don't mind that he was killed by art.
Well, you hated that for a while.
I hated that.
You hated that.
Well, I was so angry at the movie at that point because everything was so ridiculous.
Well, you know what would be interesting to do? If we do a podcast on Tenebrae, we should also get a version of that I saw with Brian, the unsane version.
Yeah, I would say
that makes no sense.
Yeah,
I remember it being terrible. So
I can watch A Night to Dismember and A Night to Dismember the original cut. I can watch and Lisa and the Devil. And God, Lisa and the Devil, people really love it. I rewatched Shock, and it just doesn't work. People, I forget what I was reading. And in this book, Nightmare USA, he calls it his last masterpiece, and I'm like, what the fuck is the masterpiece about Shock? I'd love to like it, but it's just not good. It's got that great. It's got a couple of decent pieces to it, and it's depressing at the end, but it stinks.
That's got the jumping up kid scene,
Yeah,
right?
which is terrific.
We saw that at
And Exhumed.
I remember being at Exhumed and having this movie drive me crazy trying to figure out what the fuck was going on.
Shock.
Because yeah,
Oh yeah.
It's like
it's not interesting. It's just not that good.
It's crazy. It's got a couple of interesting parts, but yeah. But
it's boring. That's the problem with it.
Hey, I used to kind of like the Stendhal syndrome because I thought part of it felt like Argento still knew how to make a movie.
Sure,
but I've rewatched it and it's terrible.
I absolutely despise this.
I mean, there's a lot wrong with the movie.
Yeah, I think it's miserable. But people were happy that he was doing something that had high concept and
and had some interesting visuals,
But I mean, him starting to use CGI was a total mistake. He just doesn't know how to deal with it. I mean, the CGI in Dracula is one of the funniest, funniest things ever, and the CGI in Mother of Tears is just. But I mean, there are people who just I mean, God bless you. You like something, fine. But I mean, it's hard to watch the Stendhal syndrome and understand what people love it for. But I also don't love. Yeah, I would love to go to Exhumed, but we've talked about it. But we're so old and tired.
Look, we used to go like once a month.
We were in our 30s. We weren't kids.
And sometimes I would pick up people on the island at like 6 or 7 and get people home at 5 sometimes in the morning, especially if it was a late one, if they had the 3 show ones. Oh my God.
Yeah. It was great. I mean, absolutely. It's
so glad we did it.
Favorite times. Yeah. And I know I followed Dan from Exhumed. I would love to. I sent this kid Ultraman figures back in the day when I was done with a bunch of them. His kid was getting into Ultraman. I really enjoyed going to those. I would love to go to the 24-hour one still.
No, I couldn't.
Well, you can sleep for. I figured sleep.
I don't want to.
What if like Al Adamson film comes on? You go, okay, sleeping medicine. It's like Dracula versus Frank. Actually, Dracula versus Frankenstein, I would watch because that thing is so fucking bad. But yeah, I went on a big Giallo rewatch. I also went on a when I was really feeling crappy, like in December, I rewatched all the Fulci stuff.
Yeah.
The Fulci stuff that I like. I can't watch Cat in the Brain. I'm amazed at how many Fulci films I do like now. Because I fucking hated him. Like Argento, I thought was useless, but I thought Fulci was actually just horribly inept. But I mean, I like The Black Cat. I don't like Zombie. It's funny. That's his everybody loves Zombie, and I think it's kind of not that good.
It's got a couple. Well, first of all, the beginning's great.
The beginning's hilarious.
The beginning's absolutely great.
I love the guy.
You have a couple of stupid scenes, the eye scene and the shark scene.
Sure, the shark scene is terrible.
But it's also a taste. Those kind of
why is there a zombie on? I mean, I don't mind. Look, zombie's stupid. I get it, but why is there a zombie walking around underwater?
Because it lost something, Evan.
I don't believe you. I don't believe you. What would a zombie lose? His eyeball? Then he can't even find it. But he's just under there. He's just under the rocks like the man from Atlantis.
Maybe he was bored, decided to walk swimming.
And she jumps out. She goes, "There's a man under there." Oh. But then he fights a dying shark, which bites his arm off, which is fucking hilarious. Why does the shark want to eat a zombie?
What Italian zombie?
You're not answering. You see, you can't answer. You can't answer because
I'm not even listening.
There is no answer.
I'm not listening.
I yield I want to take my time back. Excuse me, please.
Approach the bench. Is there an Italian zombie movie with classic Italian zombies that you do think is great? Because I think any are great.
City of the Living Dead is comfort, and I love it now. Remember we were talking about how we both kind of
I still hate it. I try to watch it.
Wait, I thought you watched City of the Living Dead.
Wait, City of the Living. Oh no, that's not the.
You're thinking of Hell of the Living Dead or Nightmare City?
What? No, I'm thinking about what's the plane that lands with the zombies.
Nightmare City is when the plane lands.
I hate that movie.
The plum pudding people come out of it.
That's the movie you hate, right?
Uh,
We get
they
weird.
they hide the dead people hijack the plane that had nothing but cutlery on it. They come out with
Or
axes,
did they?
or did
And
they?
are they mutants or do they have beards? Now that movie sucks. So
I actually think that movie sucks, but I find
so
it
what
really
movie are you talking
enjoyable.
about?
Well, Hell of the Living Dead is the one that we saw at Exhumed, which is just awful. That's the one where the rats go up a guy's suit, and that starts the whole zombie. The guy because the guy doesn't know how to button his.
Then which one do you like?
I like City of the Living Dead because it which does
And
have
which one is
zombies.
City of the Living Dead?
That's maggots tried to eat maggots fly at Christopher George.
Oh,
That's the
that's the Fulci one.
yeah.
I love that movie.
I hated
It's
it, but
hilarious.
now I absolutely love it.
Pat and
It's
I saw that together, and it's the scene where the old guys are in the bar,
oh, I love that.
and it's the walls are cracking,
And they're
and he
just
goes,
like
"Ah,
they're
that's
just
you
like
don't want to be in that bar."
I'm getting out of here. There's a
It's
I love
it's
that the bar.
Lovecraft, and it's kind of almost works.
No, there's a bunch of stuff that really almost work. Actually, the zombies are kind of like the weakest part of it.
Yeah,
The ones that show up at the bar are hilarious because it's like they're like, well, we got to take care of those three guys at the bar, so they have the walls break. It's just nuts. The thing about that movie that why I like Fulci to me is like he's still such a dum dum. It's like he's got this movie it's got women throwing up their intestines, and a guy gets the two or three people get the brains pulled out of their backs of their heads,
right. I hate
and
when they squeeze the brains.
the
Ooh,
brains and then yeah, and that's what they did. I can't believe Christopher George gets knocked out, taken out by this brain. It's kind of like like being in a Royal Rumble and you get like accidentally fall. Christopher George is in the whole fucking movie, and they just go squeeze. They squeeze his head, and he just makes that. He's always making that. Oh, it's got that crazy scene where the woman he decides that
oh, in the coffin.
he's got to like smash the pickaxe through it all instead of just like popping it open.
Right. He's got to
He's
scare the
such an
shit out of
idiot.
the audience.
But in a movie with all that, they've got to have a guy who's like mentally deficient, and somebody's father has to put him into a drill press. It has nothing to do with the rest of the movie. He doesn't come back as a zombie. He's not important to the plot. Fulci just says, "I want to see a guy get a drill through his head."
Why not?
It's like making War of the Worlds, right? And you have to have like somebody get their head squeezed out in a supermarket or something like that.
Have you
It makes
noticed?
no sense.
You were talking about this before, but as I've gotten older, and I was saying this to Stevie the other day, sometimes I rewatch movies now thinking about how I would have to talk about them if we did a podcast on them.
Sure. Oh,
So
sure.
I watch them and I go, oh shit, this movie made a hell of a lot more sense than I thought it did
Yeah.
when I watched it 20 years ago.
Well, it also, we've talked about this before. When you are watching a movie that's nonsensical or overwhelming with information or just crazy, there's a great difference between the first exposure to it and the second, because the first time you are trying to follow the plot. That's what we do.
Right.
We're trained to follow plots.
Right.
And we're trying to keep the characters in track. We're trying to keep even if we don't normally care about such things, you're still watching horror movies and you're going, okay, this is character, the guy with the red hair. Wait, the old guy all right, he's here, blah, blah, blah. And you're trying to put people in their places and watch the movie. The second time you're like, okay, I'm not going to be, you're not stressed with any of that. The tension is not the same. Your attention is not the same, because you can actually sit there and go, okay, I'm going to try to pay attention to that character that I couldn't follow in the first time I watched it. Or I understand now that this doesn't make a lot of sense, so I don't have to drive myself crazy worrying about, but it's like you watch Tenebrae and it starts falling into place and you actually go, oh no, there actually is a bizarre world logic to this whole thing.
Yeah.
It's highly coincidental, but it even tells you that on the surface. It talks about Conan Doyle's, whatever is if it's that if you've
The game is afoot, right?
Well, the whole
if you eliminate
the
impossible,
yeah,
all that remains, no matter how highly improbable, must be
is
the answer,
truth,
which is
what Tenebrae is about. It literally is what it's about, because at the end of the movie you're like, this actually makes sense in its narrative. It's crazy, but it actually told you this is going to be crazy. I
Well,
mean, it sets its own pace. But when you watch something insane like a Fulci movie, you're waiting for some kind of narrative to kind of take control, and it just kind of doesn't.
also
Yeah,
like
you watch House by the Cemetery, which I don't really like, but I meanwhile still have seen it 3 times. But House by the Cemetery never makes real sense.
no,
Characters disappear. There's blood all over the floor. And nobody says, "Why is there blood all over the floor?" I mean, it's just bizarre,
with the classic where the reels were switched for
and
years.
nobody.
I
Nobody.
have it. I have a DVD somewhere in my collection that has the reel switched.
That's funny.
Um, but also, Evan, you
When they switched when we saw that at Exhumed, I'm not sure. I know the
yes, I
last
think they were.
the last reel was the last reel because I remember. I mean,
Yeah, well, it's no, it's in the middle. The
yeah,
father character, because before he gets his hand fucked up, he's bandaged. So if you
right.
see
He has
him
the
in
bat, right? What a bad move
the
that
fake
was.
bat,
They
and
should
the,
never
and
have bats.
and Dr. Franken cummy guy, he just looks like shit.
He
You
looks.
know,
I find him really creepy looking. As long as
I
you
don't know.
don't.
It just doesn't work for me.
He looks like
Well,
a melted piece of wood. He's really
right. Well, talking.
Freudstein.
Yeah. Well, we
Franken.
would.
No, Freudstein. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's Freudstein, which sounds. And the thing is, if you go on YouTube, look for a trailer or a TV spot where Brother Theodore
Oh,
does the narration on it. It's brilliant.
the thing that's annoying about that, I rewatched that. I rewatched the Gates of Hell films, and I still love the Beyond. And I still I love City of the Living Dead, but House by the Cemetery. I mean, it's got a really good atmosphere, but it's in a lot of ways it's kind of it's just inert and weird, and it just doesn't. The ending is really it's frustrating because it's one of those movies where somebody has to be glued to a wall, reacting in fear because Dr. Freudstein is a mummy. He's only got one good arm, I think, at that point, and he's literally like a stick on legs. He just and nobody just goes out. They all have to go to the. It's just that's
Maybe.
frustrating, I just find that frustrating that like nobody can run away from a guy who's yeah.
So Scott says that uh,
I think if it finds it makes it harder to watch a film if you're thinking about what you're going to say about it and you're trying to assess it because you're doing two things at the same time. You're not really just watching it.
my big problem is I don't want to watch what I don't want to watch. So if I had to review something I didn't want to watch, I think about people that have YouTube channels where they go to movies constantly and
Yeah.
they talk about. It's like that's not what enjoying movies is to me.
No.
Enjoying movies is finding something new, revisiting something, thinking about it, enjoying it, hate watching it, whatever. But it's not seeing everything.
I never want to watch anything or do an episode because I think we should. You know what I mean? Oh,
Yeah.
we got to do Terrifier because people get those hits. I mean,
Ugh.
we've never done this to, we do this to have fun. And
Yeah.
the thing is, it's not, we don't, if I ever started looking at it like this as a job, I'd feel miserable because,
Yeah.
you feel like
You'd starve.
Yeah. It's like, I don't want to talk about the Conjuring series. I fucking hated that movie. I didn't hate it. I don't think it's a hateful film. I think that the way that they exploit these two horrible people who were, ripped people off and made a living off of lying and possibly sexually abused a young woman. Go have fun reading about the live-in girl at the house.
Who was underage when he was like a school bus driver.
I think they're two scumbags, and I think people
of course they are.
I think the people who promote them kind of, there's shit on their feet too. And but I also just think The Conjuring was a terrible, terrible, boring, mediocre, nothing of a film. And I didn't watch the other Conjuring films, but I watched, Nothing to Watch. I throw on The Nun, which was awful, and Annabelle, one of the ones and that was fucking awful. Not only was it awful, but it had this horrible message in the year 2022 or whatever it was made of. Watching a black woman sacrifice herself for a stupid white couple was just so on the nose wrong. It was just like, are you really going to do this? And not even.
I think they found. I think that series. I think there's something about movies when you're of a certain age, horror series that you go to in the theater and you kind of don't like them, or maybe you do like them or whatever. I mean, I remember being a kid and seeing, seeing fucking Nightmare on Elm Street movies that I had no didn't really like them, but I wanted to see them in the theater.
I really
So
liked the first one, and I saw the second one, and
I'm talking about much later ones like
oh, okay.
5
I
and
never, I
6.
don't think I saw any of the later ones after two.
Really, really.
It wasn't that, I just
Well, no, we saw the new Nightmare
we
together.
did, and I thought that was terrible.
Oh,
But
very disappointing. Nice
there are,
hat.
there are people who absolutely love that film because it did something. I mean, to me, you know, I'm not a big fan of Craven at all. I've never gotten it. Um, I haven't seen the Scream films, so I can't talk about them. But I also don't want to see the Scream films. They don't look
But
interesting to
but
me
again,
in the
I
least.
think that's what I was getting to. It's like,
Yeah,
there were the paranormal activity movies that people could go to the theater and enjoy, and I think people got a kick out of seeing the series, not
yeah.
really thinking. I mean, look,
And they pound them out. They
I
pound
don't
them
believe
out.
in the supernatural, so anybody
Yeah,
who's presenting this, I don't believe and I don't trust. You know,
yeah.
so I don't need a background to think that. Well, what the
I
fuck are
finally
these
watched
people doing?
Paranormal Activity, the first one, and I was astounded by how bad it was. I was just shocked by how absolutely uninteresting it was. I was like, I can't believe this.
I wonder what it would be like to be like 18 and seeing that with your friends in the theater,
Sure. Oh,
you
sure.
know,
But I
and
mean,
getting
yeah.
scared shitless.
I mean, yeah. But I didn't find it. I was like actually surprised how nothing. I mean, I was waiting. I'm watching The Conjuring, and I'm just based on the hype. Several years worth. I'm like, okay, where's the big? Like I understand. Um, uh, what's the Insidious?
Yeah,
I watched Insidious when I first got Netflix, so it was fairly close when it came out, and I didn't like it, but I found it really creepy.
right, right. Sure.
Um, and I can totally understand the hype around Insidious, especially if I had seen that in the theater. I'd probably, because I'm an easy scare, I would have been really fucked up with a lot of it. But to me, it was just three different films that banged against each other badly, and the third one was just nonsense. It was just walking around and creepy shit keeps happening. It was just bad haunted house shit. That whole ending was just really a letdown. I mean, I like the Ghostbusters with the nerds, but it didn't fit with the rest of the film. But I liked the second part. I didn't care for the first. I didn't care for the third. And I also think that Insidious and some of these other films are to blame for all these horror movies about people who don't seem to have a job but have a one beautiful house.
Well,
You
there's
know,
a lot.
I play the piano. He's a teacher, and we have a fucking house in LA that none of it's for millionaires.
And when you have to
But
go away, when you've had some kind of tragedy and you have
yeah,
to go to a cabin far away, it's fucking gorgeous.
yeah,
It's nice. The
unbelievable.
doors work.
I always think still you go to we got to we have no money. Our kid died. I lost my job. I'm a drug addict. You go to the Evil Dead cabin, right?
Yeah, right.
No, they go
Exactly.
to this fucking
What's that
amazing.
smell? That's
Yeah,
a weird fucking
oh, there's a
smell.
there's a dead rabbit in the floor. And, everything's broken and shit, and you have the refrigerator's old. No, it's gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous, unbelievable. I mean, it's just, yeah. I like to watch poor people get scared much more than middle class people living outside of their means. I mean,
Yeah.
explain to me how this guy can teach at college and have this fucking house. The house is beautiful in
Well,
Insidious.
maybe it's a market for buyers.
Well, they do hang out with their mom, so maybe their mom
Yeah.
gives them a lot of money. I forget who the actress was, but
Oh,
I remember her being
was
scary
it
because
Barbara Hershey?
yes, they had so much work done. She looked like Dr. Freudstein. Not to make fun of her, the guys all look like this now too. You look like a lot of all sorts of. But I remember her actually looking really tight. Like the like kind of looked like her flesh kind of had this feel like the David Cronenberg character in Nightbreed. Everything was just really tight. Catherine Hellman in Brazil type of tight.
Yeah, I was about to say that. Yeah.
A little scary, but yeah, that movie. I mean, I get that one, but I don't get The Conjuring. It's actually just, it's like this is all stuff that's you've. I mean, casual
Well,
horror.
do you remember seeing them back
Got great reviews
on
from the.
shows like
What?
Did you remember the Warrens showing up on like Donahue and shit when we were kids? Did you ever watch
Vaguely, but I
that?
didn't really watch.
Yeah.
But I never believed those people, so I just thought they were full of shit.
Right, but I still bought all the books.
Yeah, I didn't. Yeah, I never was. I mean, I would read UFO and cryptid shit, but I didn't really read the haunted house and psychic stuff.
Yeah, the
You know,
weirdest thing, I remember being in a bookstore looking at the conspiracy section,
right?
and this kid came up and started talking to me. It's like, no, kid, I don't believe in this
Yeah,
shit.
it's
I
like you,
just I enjoy it, you
right?
know.
As a cultural thing, as a sociological thing.
Well, I said there was back in the day to get weird books, there was a catalog, or one of the catalogs was called Lumpanics,
Panics, yeah, yeah.
right? And they would have, and these were books where you could buy lock picking, learn
And
how to
Jim would
lock.
and Jim would go, "You're on the FBI list now." I
Right,
go, "No, you are, because I ordered the serial killer book through you, dummy."
right, and yeah, and that's what I would put my
Hunting
mother's
humans,
everything I ordered. I would put my mother's name,
right?
so the government would go after her.
That's
You
why
know,
she
they're not going to
disappeared every
prove.
once in a while.
I mean, not that I got anything crazy, but it was like that
How
period
to
of
kill
the
your neighbors.
the
How to kill your
crazy.
child.
I'm sorry.
No, nothing. What did I watched something? Okay, Tubi just got a whole bunch. I mean, they might have had these, but speaking of, I watched something called The Force Beyond,
The fuck is that?
and I have it written here as documentary in quotes because it's one of those, jumping on the Eric Von Daniken Sun Classics type shit. It's
Oh, Von
hilarious.
Daniken just died, didn't he?
Yeah, but maybe he didn't. Maybe he just went back home to the
He
Egyptian.
ascended.
He ascended to the pyramids. Fucking jerk.
Secret of the Gods. Oh, yes, I've seen this. I love these.
The Force
I can't
Beyond
watch.
is so funny.
I
It was
I,
so funny.
I
It was
can't
just
watch it like I used to.
so the
But
Force Beyond is one of these 70s documentaries where they just throw in everything. I mean, they literally start with Bigfoot, and somehow this segues into Bermuda Triangle, and somehow this goes into UFOs, and somehow this goes into psychics, and you're
they're
just like,
Russian psychics.
but they basically go, did this have anything to do with the? And now they don't finish a thought because they have no. It's all bullshit, and it's so funny because they're constantly talking to these just weird motherfuckers who are, and it's the 70s. So everything looks like garbage, and then they show star fields and play some bad music over it. It's it was funny. I also wrote emails during that one.
I think of it as a poop deck.
Yay, Poop Deck. The perpetrator did then produce Poop Deck Pappy from his pants.
Are you going to tell that story now?
Not today.
Okay.
Not today. Maybe we'll save that for another time when we do the Popeye movie and we can sing He's
Oh,
Large.
I would always argue with Frank. I hate the fucking Popeye movie so
I like
much.
a lot of the Popeye movie. I don't like the songs.
No.
I did not like the songs. I don't care. Oh, Harry Nilsson did them.
He's
He's
large.
large. But I like, in general, I like the movie. If it ended the way it was supposed
It's
to,
gorgeous looking.
and the characters are all well done.
But his choice to speak so you couldn't understand what he was saying,
well,
it gets a little much.
I mean, he probably was coked up. Popeye,
Allegedly.
Allegedly. Please.
I should find this for you if you're watching movies like The Force Beyond. There's one, it might be like the Sun Classics one, where it's, I forget who it is. Who played Kingpin? No, King Tut in the Batman show.
Victor Bono.
Right. He plays like a time traveler, like he has a spaceship and a console, and he checks in.
He's not the devil from the evil, is he?
No, and he checks in on Bigfoot and shit, I think.
Oh, let's see how Bigfoot is doing. Oh, Bigfoot, you Babylonian Batman.
People are still looking for Bigfoot. Stop looking for Bigfoot. It's not fucking real. How can we have all these things? We have drones. We have trail cams.
Oh,
he
cleans up his own. No, you don't understand. He cleans up his own scat and pulls his hair samples off of the trees. He collects them.
We can't get a picture of this fuck, but every time there's a branch broken, it's. Or the big thing with Bigfoot stuff now is sound stuff. Do you know about this, Evan?
No, I don't.
No. So the thing is, your Bigfoot researcher goes out away from their wives and shit and get
right.
Because that's what
the box and the camera.
And they go, wow, do you hear we're going to try to get them to bang. And they'll go to a tree and they'll go bong, bong, and they'll listen. And they'll go bong, That's a Bigfoot. How do you know that's not another group of fucking assholes
It's true. It
a
could be
mile down the fucking path?
Eric Denason, the Dutch Bigfoot enthusiast.
A rock hit
Bong,
me.
bong.
Somebody threw a rock at me. Who could that have been but Bigfoot? Maybe no one likes you.
It could be nature.
You know?
It just could be fucking nature. You know, it could be a goddamn beaver. You know, and the beaver's laughing. Fucking thinks it's Bigfoot. 100. How was it? What was it? What?
100, the 101 Beaver. I can't
What's
remember
that called?
anything.
No, I watched it. I can't even. Why isn't it?
I've watched it twice. I love that.
I liked it, a lot of it. I thought it was a little too long, just like his first film. But it's when it's going, it's great.
I think it's so creative and different.
Oh, sure. But I think it could be a little tighter because I think the ending goes.
Oh, you
on.
do you?
Yeah, I fucking do. Bone, bone,
hundreds of beavers. Thanks, Stevie.
So how about you and we get really high and we make hundreds of Bigfoots? And it'd be absolutely terrible because we'll only have one Bigfoot suit and we'll just have to multiply it over and over. I think we can have a scene. We can have that scene where the guys are doing it. I think that'll be a top scene where the Bigfoot hunters are doing bong bong, and it's another Bigfoot hunter bong bong. You know, one in Montreal, one in Quebec, or whatever. Is that the same thing? Detroit? I don't know. Is Detroit in Canada? We can get tax breaks if we do it in Canada.
Right, exactly.
So okay, fine.
The tariffs will get us.
You're too tired. I see you're very tired.
I'm trying. No, what? I'm trying to find the.
I think Hundreds of Bigfoots is the winner. People, chime in here. Would you watch Hundreds of Bigfoots if it had any kind of interesting material in it at all?
Even if it only had one Bigfoots.
One Bigfoots, but we use the magic of computers. Hundreds of Winkies. Come here, baby. Winky.
Oh, this is pissing me off.
Why? What's the matter?
No, I'm just trying to find this fucking movie.
Hundreds of Bigfoots. How about hundreds of Littlefoots? We don't have the budget for Bigfoots. We have Littlefoots.
Oh, Littlefoots.
Hundreds of Chupacabras, since nobody seems to agree what they look like, we could just do whatever we want.
Well, what the fuck it's supposed to be? That's the laziest fucking urban legend of all time.
Sometimes the Chupacabra is like it's a lizard.
It's a lizard. It's got spikes.
Or it's a Bigfoot with like claws or something.
It's a dog with mange. It's something.
It's whatever we found.
Yeah.
Outside the barn, dead. I like the mangy dog.
I remember when you finally read the Mothman prophecies and you were so pissed off.
I fucking hated that. I hated everything about it. I hated the movie and I hated the book even more.
Well, the movie is,
But that's another one that people fucking love that thing. When I say people love it, I just mean there's a lot of loudmouths who defend the shit out of it. And they're wrong because that movie is garbage. I love that. It's another one that got these reviews that I just, from supposedly thinking individuals with a job to parse movies and tell you why they work. And it's like, wow, that scene where it was 20 minutes of just brake lights going off on a bridge was just fabulous. It was just, so I think the one that I watched, the terrible documentary, The Force Beyond, includes Orson Welles in its cast. So I figured they interviewed him for some bullshit, or they have him doing voiceovers. They just use footage of him talking about War of the Worlds from the 30s. And he's in their cast list because of that. Thanks for ripping up my fucking jacket. Thank you, Winky. Thanks. Just destroy it. I don't, it's just something I have that I love. Thank you.
Thank you. Probably doesn't understand English.
Excuse me. Please don't do that. Here. Do you want to rip the chair up? Because I don't care. The chair is garbage. You've already destroyed this one. Go for it. Rip up the chair. Come on. Want hundreds of Winkies. Oh, God. Now she doesn't want to do anything. So what I watched
the movie. Well, wait. I found the movie. It's called Target Earth. It's listed as being from 1980 or 81. And it's basically him trying to investigate what happened at the...
Wait, isn't there a Target Earth that has these robots in it? The British film that has...
This is Target ...
Oh.
Earth ? Evan. All right?
All right, you got me there. You got me there, Jimmy boy. You got me
I'm
there.
sorry, I interrupt. What
Target
were you
Earth is,
saying?
I believe, Target Earth is a movie about these really funny looking uh, steel robots that land in London and attack five people for a few hours because it has no budget. But I think that's what it's called. No, I don't remember what I was going to say. I'm just going, Oh, I was just going to say, is there anything I do know of a 2025 film that I watched?
I have a bunch of movies. Yes, there are some movies.
Mine are easy to go through, so let me go first. One was an unholy song, and I forgot what it is. I didn't write down what it is, and I actually looked it up, and now I can't remember what the fuck it was. Unholy song, 2025. What the fuck was it? Shit. Well, I watched something called Death Ride, RIDE,
Death
2025.
Ride.
It's from Thailand, and I have POS. If I really hate something, I write the letters POS next to it
Okay,
because I'm a film reviewer.
you are.
That's a piece of shit, and it was a piece of shit. A guy saves up money to go on a bus ride, and there's an old lady on it that puts a curse on everyone. I don't know why I watched that. It was
Sounds good.
awful. Then I watched something called The Legend of Gilbert Flay. Also, don't watch this. I'm not even going to go into the plot. It just if you see this, avoid it. What
Okay.
was Unholy Song? I didn't put POS next to it. Well, anyway, the one thing I did watch from 2025 that people have heard of is I watched Final Destination Bloodlines.
Okay.
In 2025, I actually ended up watching the Final Destination series, except I missed the one that everybody hates, which I
Okay.
think is the fourth one. Like nobody apparently likes the fourth one. I
Right.
watched the first one, the second, the third, and the fifth, I think, and they're an interesting series. I don't really, but I actually really like the first one. Have you ever seen it?
No, I've never gotten through any of them. It's not. It's just I've
Yeah,
never been in the mood.
but people really like them, and they come
Yeah.
up a
Oh,
lot.
Brian's a huge fan of the
Uh,
series.
People really like them, and it's funny because I was reading the in Nightmare USA the review of Soul
And we'll be
Survivor.
right back. Keep on talking.
I don't know who to talk to,
Just talk to me. I'll be here. I just got to go off
but I was
camera.
they had a write up on Soul Survivor, the '80s movie about the airplane crash, and one woman survives it, and she works in advertising, doing commercials, and she starts noticing creepy people. You remember it, Soul Survivor?
Yeah, of course. It's a
Right.
very good movie. I think
I
it's
love it.
also been restored recently. I
Yeah,
want to rewatch that and really think about it.
yeah, I want to rewatch it again. It's got a slow 10 minutes at one point where basically they waste a bunch of time with her neighbors, and there's really nothing gained by it. It's just kind of like talk to Winky. Winky, she's on the chair, and I don't want to bother her. Baby, you want to come over here? Winky, come here. You want to talk about Soul Survivor? Anyway, a lot of people seem to think that Soul Survivor is a precursor Final Destination because it's basically, it's not spoiling anything. If you know Final Destination, you'll know Soul Survivor is about somebody who was supposed to have died. Wow, my hair's getting really gray up here, finally. But Soul Survivor is, yeah, but it's a much more intimate film. I mean, obviously, it's a low budget and it, whatchamacallit, is only about this one person who has to figure out what's going on. It's not a spectacle film the way that the Final Destination films are. But Soul Survivor is very, very creepy because basically it's a zombie film, but the zombies are only after one person. They're coming after you, because you were supposed to have died. So it's a very, very creepy premise, and for the most part of it, it really works. But there are certain sequences that are I think terrific, and they're in a very small kind of George Romero way of working horror. Final Destinations it's a spectacle. It turns into a spectacle thing, but I really enjoyed the first one. And I don't enjoy the other ones. I mean, everybody loves the car crash setup in the second one. I mean, it's beautifully done. It's ridiculous. I mean, if I'm driving on a highway and there's somebody doing coke and there's another one doing weed and there's another guy who's it was just the most contrived nonsense. But the problem is when a movie starts with a scene as insane as that car crash, and then that highway pileup, nothing else in the movie is going to, they've got to try to match that for the rest of the movie. So I think that's kind of like, you're shooting yourself in the foot. I mean, the movies are super popular, so obviously it doesn't matter. But for me as a viewer, you've got a 20-minute opening that's just like the ending of other movies, and the rest of it is just idiotic. I mean, the second movie is the first movie. What I liked about the first movie is that the first movie makes you paranoid, which is what I think is the best angle of this thing. Is that it's hard to do a series of films where there's no action figure, if you know what I'm saying. There's no Michael Myers.
I'm
There's
back.
no the thing that's interesting about the Final Destination movies is that there's no it's a film series with no villain, really. I mean, the villain is death, which they make more obvious as it goes through. I mean, obviously it's death, but death in the first movie is a force, and they do a really really good job of basically having these characters going up against a force. It has no there's no CGI, you know, predator effect creature. There's nothing. You don't see a hand. You don't. There's wind and there's effects on, natural. The wind knocks things over. The drain backs up or whatever the fuck. But the first movie actually is really kind of sedate. I mean, except for the plane crash. But the killings, the characters are pretty well represented. You kind of you know these characters. They're not just targets. And I actually like the main two characters. And there comes to a point in Final Destination where you really just feel like anything could kill them. And when you're done with Final Destination, you can see the audience going home and basically looking around their house
Right.
at everything as a potential death, for them, and like stepping into the bathtub a lot more slowly. It's a kind of movie that the way that Jaws fucked you up and the way that Psycho fucked you up about showers. I could see people coming home from Final Destination basically like, did I turn the gas off? Did I turn this off? And that's effective. And the rest of the movies basically, of course, go into maximum overdrive. They have characters that are terrible. They have to have scummier characters, stupider characters. I mean, the second movie, the thing that I hate, and I'm joking, about the Final Destination movies that as a writer who sometimes gets paid to write stuff, I am. It's like I can't imagine most writers watching these movies and screenwriters going, motherfucker, these people got paid so much money to basically go, oh, it doesn't matter, because there's scenes that make absolutely no sense, and you don't have to be a expert on anything. I mean, the second movie has this much ballyhooed major traffic accident that kills like 100 people on the road. It's really well done. It's really kinetic and bloody and nasty and crazy. I mean, it's stupid. It's ridiculous, but the main characters of the movie are then assembled. I've never seen a movie like this in my life. They were all waiting to get onto the main highway, and they're behind a cop car. So basically, imagine if you were in one of five cars behind a cop car, and you're going to get on the Staten Island Expressway, and all of a sudden, fireballs, trucks smash into each other, everything, and you're hauled in by the police. Like, you're a witness to what? An accident. Why would the cops bring in everybody trying to get into the? It's just such a boneheaded way to assemble your victims.
Right.
And it's like I'm sitting there going, why would I would none of these characters should have been in the movie. But anyway, the movies start off with these giant insane. They start off as disaster movies, and they get more ludicrous over time. The Bloodlines one I really didn't care for because I think it just failed on every level, and it's stupid, and the CGI was terrible, and the characters sucked. And they broadened. I mean, at first it starts off like you're supposed to be dead, so death wants you gone. And then it gets to the point where they added this thing where if you kill somebody, death says that's okay, now you can live, which is ludicrous and dumb.
Maybe they had like
Well, they
negotiations.
just didn't know how to. Yeah,
Got a
they
new
didn't know how to
contract.
stretching this stuff. By the time of this new one, Bloodlines, which basically has you can hide from death if you act like Laurie Strode in the Halloween trilogy. Hide out in a cabin. Somehow death can't get to you, which is the stupidest thing. I mean, by the time they get to the fifth or sixth movie, it's like, why doesn't death just give you a fucking heart attack? They stretch, you know what I mean? They make it so huge and crazy that it just feels it's dumb. I mean, you're not supposed to think about it. But the last movie, the new one, which did really well, people seem to really love it. Has, I mean, scenes where you don't even have to understand the world the way I'm naive and I don't get a lot of things, but I know that you don't put computers in a MRI and then put the magnets on. I mean, there's a scene with an MRI device, which is one of the dumbest death things scenes ever. And the whole thing makes no sense. And I'm like, I was like personally offended because I'm like, I would like to write things this lazy and get paid for it. The money that I would love this the MRI magnet starts sucking things in from the rest of the office of this hospital. Shit starts flying into this room because but it was started by computers that are in the room. Even I know from Pat Miller, you don't put magnets near computers. It's just like in this year of movie making 2025, and I'm just if it was more fun, I wouldn't mind. But it's really the first one. I really like the first one. The second one's idiot fun. The third, they really just unless people want to disagree with me because I don't know. But I find Final Destination just got really and the end of the first group of films they had to tie it all in together. And also, I think I can't stand that how many times they do the thing where somebody backs up and gets hit by a bus or a car that shows up immediately. Nobody has hurt. Nobody hears it. It doesn't. I can't stand that trope of the walk into the car death. There's a garbage can death that's really fucking bad too. Anyway, yeah, I didn't like. So that was it. That's my four movies for 2025. I didn't like any of them.
Oh, okay.
I'm done.
Well, the other day I watched Good Boy.
Oh,
That's
the dog movie. Boy, I would love to do a horror thing with animals that people don't know what the animals are doing and they see horror stuff. Boy, I wish I thought of that. How
I,
was that?
I really didn't like it at all.
You
I
know,
really, really didn't like it. I
I
was
sort
I
of
was
was paying,
actually fucking annoyed
I
with
was
it.
sort of paying attention to that one for obvious, jealousy reasons. But people were all up its ass until it came
The,
out.
the dog is fantastic.
But then
It,
it's
it's
like people stopped talking about it the minute it came out.
it's very well made. It
Yeah.
took years to make. It overcomplicates the stories, the plot for reasons I just don't fucking understand.
I don't
You know,
even know what the plot is because it was just everybody just talked about hey the dog is
because you can't.
fighting supernatural.
It's because it's you really can't explain the plot other than saying that dogs seeing creepy shit.
Yeah,
Do you
yeah,
want to know what happens with the creepy shit?
yeah.
And a lot of people, not to spoil it, but to pre-spoil it for people so they could watch it, is you could watch this if you love animals. There's nothing really.
Oh, that's good. Yeah,
There
yeah,
is no. I mean, if you don't like hearing dogs whimper, and that gets kind of bad sometimes,
yeah,
maybe, but
yeah.
it's not. You're not going to
Does
skid.
he have a voiceover like in Milo and Otis? Is he like, oh, what is that?
Yeah, it's
Oh,
Orson Welles does it. A
Orson.
drunk Orson
Oh.
Welles.
I watched. Speaking of horror and Orson Welles, for some reason I started. I watched the wine commercial
Yeah.
outtakes, and I just kept watching the same. There's only you wish there was more of them.
Oh yeah, you go. Yeah, you wish he did that. That was his like Christmas special.
I
Every
couldn't.
year he would just get
Every
drunk.
time you watch it, I don't. It's so hard.
Oh,
I mean, you're laughing, but at the same, like Mazel tov to that couple that is sitting with him, and they don't make faces, they don't show any emotions at all while he's like falling asleep on them, and then wakes up and goes, "Why?" It's worse than the peas one, the frozen peas one.
right.
But I forgot about Good Boy. That was supposed to that felt like it was going to be a major big deal, and everybody talked about the concept, and then when it came out, it's like it just every
It's weird. What makes
that
what
Kickstarter
warrants
effect, that
what
Kickstarter effect I call with movies, where people
what
get
yeah what warrants a like a movie? There's always the PR, so they
yeah,
they pay the machine, and they're fucking cranking all that shit out, right?
and then all these websites get work. They get all like excited.
Right, and then it's like, oh, it's we could talk about a dog, and like I said, the dog's terrific and it's adorable, you know. And again, it's really well shot. It's like, why did this have to be so fucking complicated? I literally not even sure what happens in it. Do you know what Stevie compared it to? Skinamarink.
I was wondering if that was going to come out, which I still haven't watched, but it really seems that whenever somebody doesn't know what to say about a movie because it seemed to be like a dry fart. You know what I mean? Somebody goes, Skinamarink.
Well, Skinamarink is interesting because it's visually interesting, but I'll tell you, I was high when I watched it.
Of course,
Full
well, you were
disclosure.
awake,
And
awake and bake.
how dare you?
How dare
How
I?
dare you?
Well, I'm
I was going to
informed.
say before, I don't condone drug use. So please, kids, if you see weed, put it in an envelope,
Seaweed,
right? Address it to. Remember, fucking. I was thinking of that
right?
today with
Says
fucking
P.O. Box, Paul
Soupy
needs
Sales
weed.
told kids to send their go into
Right,
their parents'
money.
wallets.
Take those green papers out of your mom's wallet and send them to me at Soupy Sales.
It's a simpler time.
Well, nobody's gonna cancel our podcast. So
Yeah. So I'm sorry. Where were we?
we
Uh,
were trying to get weed off of people.
no, no,
Hey
no.
kid, send us some weed.
Um,
Send us your edibles. Hey, you fighting me?
no,
Uh-oh, getting
but
fought. Skinamarink.
Skinamarink is look, it's I was stoned, but after a while it's like I rewatched fucking Heavy Metal for the millionth time. I don't think it's a great
It
movie.
stinks.
But it to me, it's also just something you
Hey,
can just put on
yeah,
and you go, wow, that's a weird decision.
yeah,
Or,
yeah.
and you're thinking, you can't criticize the movie because it had to be for teenage boys getting stoned going to the theater in 1980.
Sure.
That's
That was
what it had
that
to
was
be.
definitely a early memory of. There's certain movies that whenever I think of them, I think of a pot haze in the theater. And Lord of the Rings, the animated Lord of the Rings, Hair was probably the first contact high I ever got in my life.
Yeah.
Heavy Metal was ridiculous, and it was like it felt like I was in. This is what a heavy
The
metal
hot
parking lot.
box. Yeah, you're in the hot
What a
box.
heavy metal parking lot would be if there were walls and a ceiling around it. It would just be like, hey, that's John Candy's voice. Well, yeah, but Hair was tough. The Hair was crazy. It
Yeah.
was because there was so many old hippies
Yeah.
tooting, rootin' tootin' cowboys. That one. Yeah, I still haven't seen Skinner. The movie that I always think of whenever I'm like I see what this is about, but it just doesn't. It was this movie Possum? Did you ever see the movie Possum?
I know the movie. I did not see the
Yeah,
movie.
I mean, I'm sitting there waiting. I'm going, this is, I like that creature thing. That puppet's cute, but I'm like, this could have been a half hour British. This could have been a half hour afternoon story.
Did you ever see the movie Rubber about the tire?
No, the top I've almost put it on multiple times, but I just feel like it can't. I just don't trust it.
Yeah.
I just don't trust it to be good.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's always going to be around. I
Yeah.
think. Of course, probably I'll go look for it tonight, and it's not on Tubi.
Right.
But so, what else did you watch that was actually from 2025?
We might have talked about it with Scott when we did our all our old streams are available on the site. You just go and
Yeah,
you put them on in the background and do the dishes. Well, I saw Sinners.
watch us age.
Yeah,
You watch a few of them in a row, and you go, look at them dying. They're fucking
what is
dying.
he? Oh man,
I better
he's
send them some weed.
he's obviously eaten more since
Oh,
COVID happened.
I
He's
mean,
oh
this is it. This is my go-to meal now.
oh
Is
my
the
god,
family pack of Vienna. Vienna.
family
It's got
fat.
the little elf on it, and if you get the
Oh,
family pack, it's got family size, and there's family size has a little extra back here, right? And you can definitely eat all these in one night.
that's the worst. But here's the thing:
And this is
when I was
why
younger,
I'm looking like shit lately, man.
I could eat a whole big box of shit
Yeah,
all the time.
yeah,
And now I can't,
I can.
and I
Yeah.
feel awful
Well, I do. I
when I
feel
try.
awful. I feel awful, but I've just been like self-punishing. I also I ate that. I ate a and that was I followed that up with a bag of Utz pretzels, the sourdough Hardee's,
Yeah,
and what else? I ate some other garbage too. Yeah, I can't. I had a Lion bar from the UK.
right.
That's a treat. I get
You
one.
didn't buy them from the ferry, right? So they were cheaper.
No, $6 for two fucking $8. Whatever. Fucking what world do we live in?
The
No,
oldest
they were
man
actually more
moment.
expensive than a UK import candy bar. The Lion bar is like two. I always think of the Lion bar as Lion Bow. that comic book that
Oh,
the kid.
Jesus
Remember
Christ.
that? I was talking.
Yeah.
I was talking. I forget who I talked to about that recently, but Lion Bo, the kid who sold the comics, who
If
put them on the.
Hanley
Was that
had
at JHU?
if
Was that
Hanley had Lion Bow, that's in my basement in a box still.
you please? We got to go through that shit one day and try to find Lion Bo. I really want to see Lion Bo bad.
Yeah.
We gotta do it. Lion Bo was real quick because in case you watched, I think it was me and Steven Stefano and Robbie we were talking about.
Oh, cool.
Lion Bo was it a JHU? Or was it a Fantastic Store? Do you know? I think it was JHU, but I can't remember.
I want to say Fantastic Store, but I don't remember.
One of the comic stores that we worked at. A kid made a mini comic called Lion Bo, and
Right.
it was a lion superhero mixed with Rambo. Lion Bo. So I believe he was a lion and he had a machine gun and he's like, gonna get all the missing in action zoo animals or some shit like that in Vietnam. And I don't know if he asked Jim to carry it as a comic along with all the comics on the shelves, but one day Lion Bo appears on our shelves with a little shelf header saying, and he also put a flyer in our window that you could buy Lion Bo at our store. And
That's great.
And I believe he had one of his friends come in and buy a copy to do sales, and it was just hilarious. And I would have to you would have to ask Jim as to like what exactly went down with Lion Bo because I only remember the shtick. I don't remember if he actually got to keep it on the shelves, and we just he was just I don't know what you call it, allowed in. But it was just the most enterprising kid in comics. And possibly had a better head for sales than 90%.
So he got out of comics.
Yeah, he was smart. He's probably one of these billionaires that we wish would die. Probably it's pushing AI on it.
Hey, you got to suck up. You want to be in one of their underground bunkers.
Yep. Hey, come on. AI is inevitable. It's inevitable. Yeah, it's gonna happen. Just like Lion Bo. So if a Lion Bo cartoon ever happens, you know that we knew him then.
True.
AI Lion Bo.
Well, that was probably like fucking 40 years ago at this point. Yeah, 40 years ago.
Isn't that terrifying?
Oh yeah, tell me about it. Yeah.
So that kid's like in his late.
Well, when 40s. I was away before, you were complaining about getting gray, and I've been gray.
Right. No, but it's weird. It's finally happening, and it's just I got away with it for a long time, and it's really starting to. I think I got a bald patch back here, a little Fletcher deal
sorry.
Here. Sorry. No, I know. No. I consider myself very lucky to have kept my hair for as long as I did. But
because it's so important to keep it.
But at this point, it's like I'm kind of creeped out because I'm so used to it.
Well, get away.
Don't think I'll have a good looking bald. I don't think I have a head for the shape or the. I think I'm gonna look like an ugly egg, like
Well, that's why it's always good to shave your head at one time when you're younger, so you know. You just wear a lot of fucking hats. I don't know.
I know. Maybe I'll get a funny wig. You know what I mean? Like I'll get a Beatles wig or something like that, or I'll get I don't know, some what I'll do? I'll get like anime, all those anime. I'll get like the Team Rocket. I'll get some Team Rocket wigs from Pokemon. I'll get the Jesse and James or whatever their names are in Japan. But it's just it's freaking weird because I mean my grandfather kept his hair for a long time. I
think it's your mother that you.
It's on my mother's side. My grandfather on my mother's side. Yeah, he kept, but it did go white. But it's just it's when I sleep now, my hair goes up in the air and I walk around like with hair like this all day, and I don't care because I'm not going out. But you can really see my head. I mean, my hair's super thin now, so it's not. It's like weeds rather than trees, if that makes any sense. So yeah, look, there's my bald head down. Oh my God. Marky, no, I don't want a Marky Ramone wig. No, nothing personal.
That seems personal. So another film that I saw.
I didn't say I don't want a Marky Ramone wig. You shithead. I didn't say that. I want a Captain Sensible wig. Maybe.
I saw the remake of Deathstalker. Bless you.
Of what Stalker?
Deathstalker.
What the fuck is that? A remake of what? I don't remember. I don't recall this.
Okay, I'll tell you then.
You shithead.
What is going on with you?
Nothing personal.
This new computer.
Look, Carnival of Souls.
Wait, hold it.
Oh no, 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 no. Don't do that.
That's great. No, I know how to.
It's like fire. Fire. Close up burns.
There was a series of uh, Conan,
Winky's going.
Sword and Sandal rip-off movies
Oh,
in the
okay.
80s. There were Deathstalkers. Then they
Right.
turned really weird. There were the guys or people. I know it's one person who made Psycho Gorman and
Oh, I haven't seen. Have I seen Psycho Gorman? I
I
don't
don't
recall.
know. And
I confuse all these now.
Freddie Frico, whatever the
Violent shit, Psycho Gorman,
right.
Greasy
Yeah,
Strangler.
they did do one on.
Deathstalker. Are these Italian or are these?
No, they're like kind of Corman adjacent,
Oh, okay.
maybe or something.
It's like the Barbarian Brothers type shit, or Gore. No, not Gore. What was that thing?
Well, I think that does the first one have? See, I didn't think I had to fucking do research on this.
Like I get these all confused. I know that there's one that has Jack Palance, Hawk the Slayer. Is that
That's
like
Hawk the Slayer? You don't talk bad about Hawk the Slayer.
I didn't talk about Hawk the Slayer. I didn't see it. I don't know. I just know it's a picture in the Psychotronic guide, and Jack Palance is in it. I'm not a huge fan of those. I like the Italian ones because they're absolutely ridiculous.
I love when I go on Wikipedia how it's like I'm talking to God. My face.
Oh yeah.
So
the horror express music kicks in.
The first Deathstalker's from '83.
I'm Deathstalker,
and it's followed by a bunch of other shit.
Like what? Like Murder Stalker,
like
Strangle
sequels,
Stalker,
right? There's
Stalker,
Deathstalker 2, Deathstalker: The Warriors from Hell, Deathstalker Match of the Titans. Can I borrow a match?
Match of the Titans? Hey, buddy, you got a light?
Yeah, I know.
Hey, buddy.
Hey, buddy. Hey, buddy.
I went down. When I sent you that link to the Uncle Floyd thing, I ended up watching like 20 of them. I wouldn't go to bed. I was just laughing my ass off. Even the ones that were not funny were funny. I mean, right. Most of them are not funny.
Right.
But oh my God,
this is killing me.
What was it? He was going Asbury. What's an Asbury? Oogie is asking about Asbury Park, and he said Asbury. He said he was collecting Asbury.
Yeah, it was
so stupid.
Yeah.
Oh God, I love that stuff. Most of the ones I watch now, it's like I want to hear about like what they're saying about Muggsy's car, or he can't get a job.
Or what's his name? Who's the guy they hated?
Oh, the guy who played Rocky?
Yeah, what's his name?
Now, Charlie Stoddard.
Yeah, Charlie.
It really felt like he paid them to be there or something like that. He was like, it was like they beat up on him. Like the minute he comes out, they just start practically booing him. It's great. Oh my God! So who would remake a Death? I never even heard of these movies, and they're remaking them, huh?
Yes.
Look at that.
A lot of people have heard of them, so it's.
Well, what is this remake of Deathstalker then?
So one of the reasons I liked it is because it feels, it knowingly knows what it's doing.
Right.
It's low budget. It has a lot of great.
Is it steeped in Deathstalker
knowledge? It's
in Deathstalker knowledge. You're finding this funny, folks, because you don't know what.
Yeah, these are in jokes that would take way too long.
The annotated tear them apart podcast book. Never.
But
we'll explain the. Steeped in nut knowledge. It all comes back to Pat Miller. It's so scary.
He's ball savvy.
He is. Are you ball savvy? Are you deeply steeped in nut knowledge? That's right.
Oh God in heaven.
Respect for women there.
Right. So anyway, I believe that's someone else.
Who made this Deathstalker movie?
I believe that might be I forget, a Sam Kinison bit but the way Pat presented it,
right.
Like Emo Phillips would have done it. So Deathstalker has like
who made this? Where does this come from?
Christ almighty.
I'm curious about this thing because
I don't do my homework before these shows. It's bad enough.
I didn't do any homework, but I also didn't watch anything, so I get away with it.
It's where the fuck is the director? Jesus.
Greasy Strangler. I haven't watched the Greasy Strangler. It's on Tubi, I believe.
Yeah.
This is Tarantula, 1954, I believe.
Right.
This is
It's
Attack of the Crab Monsters.
Steve
This is
Kostansky.
who?
Steven Kostansky.
Are you asking me or are you vomiting?
No, I'm laughing. I'm still thinking of nut
Not
knowledge here,
knowledge.
and I'm trying to get out of this.
Deeply I forgot. Are you ball savvy? Is even funnier, but it's like, are you, are you,
This, this, oh, Jesus
and the way he would say it, too, are you ball savvy?
Christ. Are you deeply
Are you deeply steeped in nut knowledge? What a fuck. Too bad he's evil.
No, yeah, and the thing is Pat was a guy who he would be like a broken robot. He would he would say it all night to you. One day, Brian, who we've had on this podcast,
Our friend Brian David Marshall,
and Pat and I were driving around, and we stopped at a convenience store on New Dorp Lane, and they go, well, "What do you want?" I go, and for some reason it came. It goes, can I have a coconut cookie? And Pat would say this over and over and over.
I think there's a clinical term for what he
yeah,
did.
yeah, there is.
I don't know it. I'm not deeply steeped in nut knowledge.
But with Deathstalker, who has ball savvy,
I'm sure he does. Yeah, I saw the Sword and the Sorcerer. He had ball savvy.
it has a lot of practical effects.
Oh, really? Okay.
Like Psycho Gorman, there's a lot of great creature stuff. It knows it knows what it's supposed to be, and the budget it has, and it works really well. And oddly enough, I like the fucking characters. They were just, there's a you get the main guy. It's kind of self-aware, but it isn't totally self-aware. They don't, what, I don't know. They don't make a farce of it.
No, I don't.
Which you don't want to do with Deathstalker, for God's sakes.
There's a movie that I saw that reminded me of sort of. I mean, it doesn't. Where they're aware of what they were doing, but they wanted. It didn't work completely for me. I'm trying to remember it now. It was Was it? It's not an Australian film. Michael Ironside is the villain. It's a kid. It's like a superhero movie, but it's post-apocalyptic, and he's a kid, and there's a robot. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah, Turbo
Kid.
I didn't like the ending for a silly reason, but I enjoyed.
No, I didn't like the ending either, and I didn't like a lot of parts of it because a lot of it was way too aware. But I mean, it had a good vibe, and some of the violence was hilarious. But it was I felt like they couldn't kind of really nail down what they wanted to do.
Yeah, and they
some
didn't look.
Would just go where sometimes it just felt like they were like, let's throw this in because it's funny, but even if it kind of stops the movie dead for a few minutes, it just felt good try. I mean, but I also thought that I was waiting for the manic pixie robot girl to not be a manic pixie robot girl because it seemed really late in the decade,
right, to
kind of have this, dream girl character be exactly what they made those. I mean, it just seemed kind of like stupid. I think maybe the word I'm looking for is stupid. I thought she was great in the role.
Yeah, right.
I mean, I liked everybody. I thought Ironside was terrific. He seemed to be having a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But there was a lot of stuff that was just like, why did you have to kind of like do a parody of all the post-apocalyptic stuff? Why did there have to be a Thunderdome sequence? They're just so fucking useless. You know what I mean? It's like, honestly, at this point, just avoid. But I mean, I like the build up more than the ending, but it was fun. I don't know if that has anything to do with Deathstalker, but it just
but I think I think it, like Turbo Kid, it has their low budget films that really pay off. You're not because when we were younger, you could see a low budget film made in the 70s or 80s or 90s, 60s, whatever, and they could be substantial. They could have a lot going on with them. a lot of creativity, a lot of people working on them. And now a lot of low budget movies are a couple of people in their iPhones going to a fucking cabin in the woods,
Yeah,
having some kind of spook fest.
or they're playing a video game and one of the members disappeared. Well, you got killed. He disappeared.
Well, that happened to me before when I
right,
was gone.
yeah, or
I had actually fucked up. I thought I had fucked up. It wasn't going to be able to get back on. I couldn't figure out what was going on.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was like,
oh, great. I was gonna have to talk about Final Destination. Oh, so the thing about Bloodlines now, this is just ridiculous. But luckily, you're not supposed to think too hard about these films, and I know that that's a problem that I have. Is that in this one, everybody who was saved in the opening, wherever every movie has the same thing. Somebody has a premonition that they're going to die, and it's going to be a horrible accident, an airplane crash, a massive traffic thing. There was one with a bridge, which was just terrible, terribly done, terribly conceived, and ridiculous. And in this one, it was really phony because it just was so. It almost felt like you were in like an alternate universe. It was so fake between the CGI. It was supposed to take place like in the '60s, and it was like a Seattle Needle with a big restaurant on top, and it was just such a phony.
Right, it took you right out of it, right?
Phony version of the '60s. There was no way that this stupid needle was going to be. It looked, and the CGI of the surround. Now I have bad vertigo, and this is just a personal thing. Even if I watch this in the movies, if I watch a stunt or something, and there is a shot that goes off a building or a bridge or a plane, and they're looking straight down a city or something like that, I actually do get stressed. I get anxious. I didn't get anxious once during this entire 15-minute. We're all going to die as the Space Needle that we're dancing in falls down, because everything looked like a video game. Everything was just flat outside. Every shot was phony. Nothing looked real. Nothing hooked you in. And they had, people doing R&B inside. Everything. It looked like a TV commercial for this. I thought it was lousy. But anyway, in this one, what happens is everybody. The trick on this one is that the woman actually saved everyone. It went through and she saved. Nobody dies at the beginning. Okay, so death has been coming after this 125, 150 people and their families because their bloodlines should not have lived. Which is that sounds great for a second. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then you're like, well, now that we know that this is universe where people are having premonitions and that everyone's dying and not dying, and death hates you, and death should be basically killing off thousands of extra people, apparently, with this logic. Why are these people? They never even explain why people are having these premonitions. Why is the life letting people have the chance to save everything? Right. So anyway, they're killing off everybody in order of how they died in the premonition, as if this is some big, fucking book that they're keeping. This is some Tom and Jerry cartoon, and the devil cat is writing this all down. It just becomes so complicated and silly that you're just this must be happening all the time then. I mean, by the law of averages, somebody is having these premonitions in every country in the world, and their life, if they save everybody, that means that over the next few decades they all have to be killed off by death. Why isn't he just fucking kill them?
I think you got to lighten up about these movies.
I know. No, I agree. But it just
I'm joking, Evan. It
just becomes.
You know what I think of? You know what I think of when you're talking about this?
Just write a fucking movie, man.
Remember the tremendously long Friday the 13th documentary?
Yes.
All those other documentaries strung together. All I could think of is how many times they would go back to that producer. Yeah. And he'd be like, "Oh, we didn't know what to do." And somebody said, "Well, why don't we do this?" And this happens. And he's like, "Yeah, I guess."
Exactly.
Right?
That's
okay. Right.
Which is why it's amazing to me how people, can read into some of these movies, all this depth or all this happenstance or all this coincidence, and it's just they just did not know what to fucking do.
Right.
Or they just wanted to show some girls naked, or they just wanted to have a really good kill here because they ran out. They didn't. Well, they hated this actor and they wanted to get him off the fucking.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, so much of it is not thought out. It's not thought out. But it's it just amazes me that there's these franchises that are old enough to have fans now working in the industry, and they get in there and they think these things are fucking War and Peace or something.
Yeah.
And they just add so much dead weight to them. It's the Marvel Comics
approach to everything, is that everything has to connect, everything has to be explained.
Yeah.
Except you can't explain this stuff. It's just, it's just, I don't know. If anybody wants to fight me on Final Destination, chime in. And I just want to say this before we start. If you do, go fuck yourself. You're wrong.
Well,
But I do like the first one. And the first one also does the thing that I absolutely despise. The Phantasm 3, for lack of a better way of putting it, is you like the character, you really like, they went through all hell, they got the shit kicked out of them, and they lived. Guess what? We're just gonna fucking like kick them off something uneventfully in the next movie. I hated what they did to the character from the first movie and the second one. It was just so. It was like Boba Fett. Where Boba Fett? It was just so fucking. It was just so uninteresting and badly written.
Here's a,
So wait,
Scott's chimed in with.
yeah, it is just people making shit up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I don't know, but I it's like when I grew up as a kid, I thought that I always thought that when you were paid to write a comic strip or tell stand-up jokes or to write a movie, that you did the best you could to make it good, and that you really tried to make it work, and that if you found something really stupid, like
Okay.
an MRI that can suck things in like it's magic,
Well,
you work on it.
I might be able to help you through this.
Okay.
So now
Yeah, I don't have therapy.
this week. So sometime this week, sometime in your life, was there a job that you had that you acknowledge you did very poorly because of I'm not sure whatever reasons, maybe you were treated badly, or
we say that there was a job that I think I did well because it's easier for me to figure. No, what do you mean that I did poorly at?
Yeah, that you kind of fucked around with and you were kind of an asshole with it.
Oh yeah. Oh,
Right,
okay.
McDonald's, would you say? Could you say that?
No, I was a really good McDonald's employee. I had a bad attitude.
Okay, well, that hasn't changed.
Fuck you, man.
It's shtick. It's all this shtick, kids.
I'm much nicer now than I was. I am. Anyway, you are. The thing is, when I was working on, when we were working on Shin-chan.
Oh, I'm not even talking about your profession. I'm not talking about.
I hated that job, and I couldn't. I fucked around with it, and we got fired. And I said we didn't get fired. And then Sarah said we got fired, and it took me a long time to finally admit, yeah, I got us fired.
Oh, so that is a good example. So the problem is not everybody's like you. Not everybody thinks they have to do.
One of the reasons that I hated the fucking. I know I'm uptight about this. One of the reasons I hated the job was we turned in our first rewrite and said all your characters have the same exact voice. You've got like 8 characters and they all talk the same. They all have the same cadence. They all say the jokes the same. They all have the same attitude. I'm like, that makes absolutely no sense. You want to differentiate the characters. So we wrote them with, here's what we did. And they just said, we don't care about that. And I was like, holy shit. Okay, great. So, I fucking hated that. That was just, I hated that job, and I hated the way everything came out, and I hated working on it, and I hate everybody who thinks that was funny, and that's I'm upset. I try to do a good job on everything. I hate when I know I fucked up, and I don't think I fucked up all that often. I may have done stuff. I'm sure that I've done plenty of stuff that people think isn't good, but that's not because I half-assed it. I full-ass everything. That was a joke.
I know. I smirked.
Papa Smirk?
A little, right?
Papa Smurf.
Yeah.
With Popeye.
I could be Papa Smurf.
The perpetrator did then produce Papa Smurf and Poop Deck Pappy from Popeye's pants.
I also saw Mithrigan 2.0.
What, Megan?
No, it's Megan, but it's
you're being silly. You're being a silly puss.
Okay.
That's how they wrote it. They wrote it like that. I haven't seen the first one. I had no interest.
I didn't either. I haven't seen the first one. I had no interest.
You saw Megan 3.
I saw the second one.
Wait. Okay. Second one.
Right.
Was it any good? I heard people seem to hate it.
I thought it was fun. I thought it was stupid fun. It was like
apparently killed the franchise.
Oh yeah, it was totally destroyed.
Did she dance in this one too? Isn't that the big thing now? That all the creepy chicks have to dance. She dances. One day dances.
There's some
Abigail dances.
Well, they soften it. They make her the kind of she becomes more of a protagonist in this. She's not.
Oh, so it's like the Godzilla films.
There's another bad robot girl.
Megadoll or King Doll or so, really, I didn't know that. Because like they want
yes.
You want to like her now.
Well, yeah, because it's one of those things like, oh, that's what sold the series, so maybe, you know.
Well, but didn't she just go around killing people?
Yeah.
So now she has to kill bad people, I guess.
Yeah.
They don't do that often these days. It's not like
someone Stevie just said in the comments.
Oh yeah,
kind of like Terminator 2.
See? Yeah.
Right.
Terminator 2. I loved it when it came out. It kind of diminishing returns every time I watched it, and it's like now I have no interest in seeing it again. It's like once they go to the desert, it just.
Yeah, I don't know. I still like the ending.
The ending's all right, but it's.
I rewatched Aliens a while ago. Boy, did that hold up!
I haven't seen that in a long time. I've seen that a bunch of times and really like it. I really like it a lot. But I'm one of the idiots who finds Alien 4 entertaining, and people absolutely hate that. They want to kill that movie. You know, the one by the Amelie guy or whoever the hell. People hate it, and I mean, I kind of get it because it's just it doesn't give a flying fuck about aliens.
Yeah. The problem is, I don't know. The franchise is so fucking crazy, right?
Yeah.
The first movie, you know, you have your horror film, then you have your action film, your action horror film, your big budget blockbuster, and where do you go? So they
Planet of the creepy monks.
Yeah, which makes no sense. She wants to die. They let her die. They're not going to want to keep her dead, so they're going to have to bring her back.
People love 3 now. They like to go back to 3 because it's slow and it's boring, so it means it's intelligent, and it's like, but it really does stop things just dead. It's such a pothole.
I remember being
follow up this insanely entertaining and satisfying action movie with.
Right. Well, that's how I felt. I had seen Aliens.
Not only do you knock off the characters that are put through the fucking ringer. Yeah, fuck Phantasm 3. I mean, as much as I hate what they did, but Alien 3 jettisoning Newt and the other guy. I mean, it just feels
for no reason.
You're starting off on the wrong foot immediately.
Well, yeah, because there was no idea. They didn't think, I wonder if we're gonna fucking piss off the fan base, because we could, it's kind of like what they did with Star Trek. Like, I don't like Star Trek the motion picture that much. I've rewatched it. It's people love it now. Yeah,
it's really boring.
Yeah, and it's pretty. It's got a lot of interesting effects in the end. It's good to be high too. This Wrath of Khan, I loved. I still love it. I had a great experience.
For its time, it was the Alien. It was a big action movie for Star Trek.
Right, and then they do 3, and Spock is dead, and they create Kirk's son. They give us Kirk's son, and they give us Savick,
yeah,
as a new character, and then they start getting rid of them. They kill Kirk's son.
Well, they killed his brother in 12 minutes. His brother didn't even last a commercial break. You remember Sam Kirk?
Sam Kirk.
He got the flap. He got the fake the fake funny vomit. The gag novelty vomit got on his back and fucked him up. Sam Kirk dies. Never mentions him again. Never meant that starts. So Star Trek has that.
Never had a dinner.
Never had a dinner. Never had the Horla. Never had a dinner.
Never had a dinner.
Never had a dinner.
Never had a dinner.
Didn't have a mouth that moved. But yeah, the Star Trek films got one, but none of the Star Trek films. It took a while.
Savvy.
It took a while for the Star Trek films to feel like Alien 3, if you want to put it that way. I mean, Alien 3 just felt like a complete we had to make this movie because Roger Corman had the rights for 10 minutes.
But it's not that hard to get those characters out of there, but allow them to live, because maybe somebody would want to do something with them in the future.
Why maybe they have just started it a month late? Just jettison it from the last movie.
Have somehow
bump them off like that. Just felt really. It broke I mean, look, I don't want to sound like a crazy nerd, but I'm sorry. We do like our characters when we watch these movies, even if we're cynical about it or whatever. We love Newt. and we liked what's his face, the
Hicks.
Hicks. They were two terrific characters,
Oh
you
yeah.
know. And to just basically give them the fucking bums rush like that is it breaks a contract with the audience.
Yeah.
You know, this is you're not building a new audience off this film. You're building
Yeah.
on a franchise. There's a big
Right.
difference.
Right.
And then to go into an extremely maybe interesting to read about, but unexciting to watch, in my opinion. And then literally the movie just turns into a rehashing of Stalk and Kill of the first movie, which did it better. It's just guys in Star Trek outfits walking down these long hallways going,
Right.
hello? Hello?
Well, you know what they should have done? They should have made it a mystery. So the first one's a horror film. Second one's an action film. Third one's a mystery. Maybe it's not the aliens running around killing people.
Or
Maybe
just
something
anything.
else.
But I mean, for it to just be a bunch of people talking and then walking towards giant
Well, remember
fans.
the big gimmick of that
Right?
movie
Didn't they say
is
that one of the guys, they thought he was killed by the fan, so they didn't know.
Remember the whole thing was it was supposed to be interesting because it introduced the idea of animals getting taken over by the xenomorphs.
Right.
So you could have a fucking bull or a dog.
Which would have been something. The toy Kenner is what really introduced that, I guess, in some ways.
Yeah.
They were putting those toys out before they started really doing that with the Predators. I mean, what if I don't like to do the thing of, well, I've got a great idea that would have made the movie better, but what if the Warden was in on something and was using the xenomorphs in some way what if there was some conspiracy with the company, you know, that's in all the movie? But I mean, it felt like there was just nothing.
To be honest with you, I feel for me, the natural progression that you would have to do for the aliens is that Earth seems important.
Remember, they were talking about
Earth. So
they could never budget it.
Right. So maybe you figure out, maybe they're about to get to Earth. It's a Mars colony.
What if it was a colony or the moon? Yeah. What if each movie they get closer to Earth? I mean, there's a drama in that.
Right.
What if they lose
at
the end of the third movie and drifting alien shit is coming to Earth? I mean, you know, they could cheap out and have it land in, you know, out of the way, you know, Australia or the jungle or.
Right. I mean, people really I did not like the alien.
The alien is hard because you always have to keep it isolated, like the Thing. You can't. Right, and I think it's going to take over the whole fucking planet.
Right, and the problem is if they could take over animals, are they going to take over rats? And then it's done.
Yeah, right, it's done.
Then we're done. You know, look, there was that alien. There was a series that I again didn't like called Alien Earth. Right, that was called Alien Earth, where they finally have aliens on Earth, and it takes place, I think, between the first and second movie. And I didn't like the way they went in, what they would do. It looks great. They reproduce the look of the first movie. The you know, ship interiors look pretty authentic and good.
Well, they're getting good. They're very good at that these days because they know the fans. They're fans. It's like the end of Dr. Sleep, you know. It's like amazing that they were able to do that without spending so much more money. And it's like it's not even like the whole movie takes place in the Overlook.
Right.
It's just that last like third, and it's like they know how to match the old movie because they know everybody will catch them if they don't. I just wish that they'd match scripts or something, you know.
I tell you, I love the director's cut of it. I really
I didn't
really love it. I don't know what it was, you know.
Dr. Sleep. I liked the first, like I liked all the personal stuff. I didn't like
although I couldn't read the book. I couldn't get through
really. Yeah, and I know you love The Shining.
Oh, it's my favorite horror
King book. Yeah, I'm still trying to get a copy of the first edition, but I do want to reread it. But the thing is, to me, like I know everybody hates Alien 4. I don't even try to defend it. I don't think it's necessarily a good movie, but I think it's an entertaining mess.
Right.
And but people really go to town on it whenever I've encountered people talking about it. But I'm like, I watched Prometheus, and people love it. And I put that in quotes because a lot of people don't, but you know what I'm saying. The Uber fans absolutely love getting served more mythology and world building. You would have to fucking drag me bleeding and screaming to watch that again. I would watch that fourth one, as much of a dumb mess as it is.
Yeah.
To me, it's a lot. At least it's entertaining.
Yeah, yeah,
That Prometheus was just a drag
yeah.
and stupid. Because I mean, I think what's his face Ridley Scott is one of our most beloved midbrows. Uh, people give him the benefit of so much of what a genius he is, and he's made some good films. But he is, I don't. I
He
mean,
still makes big. There's very few directors that make big looking movies anymore.
right, but they don't. But I mean, Prometheus is dumb. It is a
Well,
fucking
yeah,
dumb movie.
yeah. Again, when you think of what you're going to do with the Alien series, go, well, let's make it about the fucking guy in the ship that the thing, like, no one cares
Because
about that.
but but the sad thing is they do. They do.
Not enough.
They've been I know, but too many of them. It only takes a couple of executives to grow up wanting to know what the fucking what was he called? The jockey, the space jockey.
Yeah.
I like the idea of not knowing a fucking thing about him.
Well, I also think that that's the problem. Why the over to write your sequels doesn't mean you necessarily have to add to or fuck with lore all the time. You don't have to go, okay, you know, again, the xenomorphs now could do animals. The
Which makes sense. I mean, it does
right,
because we
but
don't know where they land. I mean, as science fiction, that's perfect. I mean, that makes perfect sense. It does open up crazy shit to become more and more.
right, but that's what I mean. It's like
it doesn't end.
To do Alien, for me again, Alien just makes sense. The danger is it's getting to Earth.
Right.
And how many ways could you deal with it? You've got a company that wants this to happen. Why do they want it to happen?
Because they want to make more movies.
Right. And I mean,
yeah.
right.
Yeah, I mean, the problem is they opened up a Pandora's box with a lot of these types of movies. You know what I mean? It's like, if you want to try to make Thing sequels, you're basically just going to keep making the same fucking thing in the Snow movie because you can't deal with it being anywhere else.
Well, my thing is,
you want to make a Thing movie in space, and then you've got Alien again.
If you did, I was thinking about this. What if the Thing had a treatment?
What if the Thing
like Alien? What if the first movie's a horror film, and the second movie's an action film?
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
So what if the second movie is them?
What if so everybody is basically fighting the what if the humans basically have these suits that can prevent them from being easily
this is
I'm saying an action.
No, you could do your pitch after.
No, I'm not pitching it. I'm pitching Deathstalker 5.
No, but I thought it could be interesting.
Stalk of Death.
But the idea is it's got to be the Thing can't be anything but apocalyptic and dreary and ending. Right. So my idea is, what if another group right after the end of the Thing finds stuff and figures out something's going on and realizing the Thing is making its way to people.
Sarah and I, when Dark Horse lost of course we came up with an idea for the Thing to pitch at Dark Horse just as they lost the license.
Yeah.
But we wanted to do a thing where somebody brought back something, which is the typical thing, and brought it to basically the CDC. It's in a building that can seal itself off.
Right.
And it's so instead of being in so the thing basically is everybody has to basically do the same shit.
Right.
But it's you've got walls separating rather than the Arctic. And it's do or die, which everybody we didn't
because they
write it all out because we didn't have to, but
because you can't.
The idea that it was like in Atlanta somewhere, and but it was like nobody's leaving these walls, and the stuff starts happening all over again.
Because you can't
different area, different thing.
Right, because you can't have it get out in the open because then it's done.
It's over.
It's done. That's the point of the story.
Yeah.
If it gets out in the open, it's done. Yeah. So I also like the idea of making it an action film, which is what if the people who are chasing down the Thing get most of their equipment fucked up and they have to cobble things together, and it's Mad Max on ice stuff in the Thing.
That's kind of wild.
As a crazy.
I mean, basically, the only thing to do with the Thing is basically get it in ice and rocket it into space like Gamera.
Right, you got Oh, poor Gamera.
Oh, he worked out okay.
Yeah, he came back.
But then somebody would have the Thing come back the same exact way. Like Gamera would be out there instead of the rock hitting Gamera would hit the Thing in the rocket. It would be a total mess. And then Gamera,
the thing would have turtle meat.
Oh, because he is
So,
filled with
so
turtle
here's
meat.
the thing, Gamera crossover. Nobody knew they didn't want.
True.
Here's the thing. It's really neat. It can turn into Gamera meat. Motherfucking Gamera, right? Isn't that how it
Excellent.
goes on the show?
I believe so. Yes. Excellent.
I love Gamera.
Yeah.
Terrible movies.
Well,
I haven't seen the one where he's like a baby Gamera that
no,
comes.
but the '90s ones are
Oh
great.
my God, they're
Great.
so good. That
It's
second
my
one.
favorite one. Oh no, the
Is that the
third
one where
one.
is that the one where he like does that big landing where he slides all
No,
around?
that's the third one. The second one is the weakest of them. That has the creatures that are kind of like bugs that swarm. The Iris is the girl who
Oh,
wants revenge and is helping another creature
right. Okay.
fuck over. Yeah, it
The
begins
first one
showing.
is Gaios. The
Right.
second one is Legion,
Yeah.
and the third one is more Gaios, right?
No, it's
Iris.
Iris, but
Iris.
it ends with a crazy ending, which should have been made one day.
I have to rewatch those.
I love them. They're
It was so
so
good.
good.
It was so good. They
So
were like,
good.
like everybody was walking around going, "These are better than the Godzilla films." Like, no, they're not. Okay, they are. Yeah.
I remember spending a fortune for bootlegs for them
Yep.
at where was it on St.
Yep.
Mark's Place?
I remember we watched those. Not Kim's.
It was Kim's. Yeah, I bought bootlegs of them. Yeah, because it was
We
the only
watched
way to
those
get them.
all at your house. They were fucking great.
Oh,
I'd like to see those on a big screen.
well, I did. Yeah, I got to see the first one on a big screen
Nice.
in '97 when we were doing 100 movies.
Oh, crazy.
Film,
Right.
Yeah, Film Forum did a night, so that was kind of cool.
They're bringing Hard Boiled back and a few. John
Yeah,
Woo's.
at the end of this month for a
We
few
should
days.
think about going.
Yeah, I just don't know where it is. I don't know where it's
I don't
ending
either.
up.
I just got some notification
Yeah,
on something. I saw Hard Boiled on the big screen twice. So,
yeah.
and it's pretty all right, man.
I keep on thinking of what I keep on thinking of the greatest action films of all time, and how that doesn't get in the top.
It almost seems to have been
Well, the
forgotten
first
in a
one.
weird way, right? It's just that like John Woo is almost like he's old news.
Well,
And
yeah,
like,
because I don't know if the kids today like that kind of action film. You know,
I don't know.
it's so fucking insane.
But to me, it's still in the DNA. I mean, the thing is, they seem to these days they seem to be a lot of you get a lot of gun action, but they really like people beating the living shit out of each other, like almost like horror movies.
Yeah,
I forget what the movie that I had seen clips from, and then I ended up watching it was like Project Wolf Hunting. Did you watch that?
No, that sounds familiar though. Let me look that up.
It's a horror action, and it's just nothing but nonstop gore. And I ended up not really liking it much. There are scenes that are fantastic, but it was basically evil organization.
Oh, okay.
They're deporting people, and on the same ship is this Weapon X type thing, which basically is very fast. It's like if Jason was a kung fu. Jason got they put the night comes for us into Jason, and it's just
Oh, that's a
bam
movie.
bam beat the shit out. It's so violent.
Yeah.
But it also is just so mean-spirited and kind of not fun in a weird way. I mean, like I'm watching it and I'm going, that's wild, but I'm not enjoying it.
It's long. It's over 2 hours.
It's long. Characters mean nothing. It's just everybody, it's just murder, and a lot of it's practical effects, and it looks crazy, but after a while, it's just like watching somebody putting meat into a grinder for like an hour and a half. It's like, it's just, let's see how brutal we can get. And it just stops being fun at a certain point. It just becomes a drag. But
Also,
it sure is nasty. I mean, it's, but the scenes that I had already seen that people were sharing were kind of like the best things.
okay.
One of those deals. But it's a mean, miserable, nasty film.
I wonder if Hard Boiled suffers from a kind of convoluted plot.
Maybe
It isn't that straightforward.
Maybe it just seems kind of, and maybe also some of that, that kind of like Hong Kong aesthetic of, the two guys, that was such a big deal in Kung Fu movies.
Yeah, those
the mirrored, the good guy and the bad guy who were
what
kind
do
of
they
like,
call those? The
they
brother.
bond, and there's got to be tragedy at the end. I mean, maybe that's hokey,
Or
Yeah.
maybe they just haven't fucking watched it for some whatever reason, because
Yeah.
it really does feel like a lot of the films that were absolute kick-ass movies that seem to be game. I mean, there seem to be a new Hong Kong game changer every few months.
Yeah.
I mean, and in the different, in this straightforward kung fu, the modern, then Tony Jaa comes out, and then you've got Drunken Master and the Killer and the God of X movie. I mean, there was just so many the Mr. Vampire movies, the spooky kind. There was just so many fucking iconic things going on that were like launching these mini franchise, knockoffs of
Sure.
franchises. In fact, I ended up, how we always used to say that we really, any of those movies that had Taoist priests in it.
Yeah.
And I ended up watching. What did I fall upon? I fell onto a couple that were on, I think, YouTube. I don't, or maybe they were on Tubi. Geez, let me find them because they're really close to. And they were all weird. They were none of them, but the Lam Shi Ying is in a couple of them. Geez, where the fuck are they? Um, well, I can't find them right now.
Well, I was going to say it's like,
But
when
I
you think
never
of,
heard of them, and there were
oh,
three of
Magic.
them.
Yeah, it's like I think of the Yuan clan when they made like,
Yeah,
Taoism drunkard, Shaoism, Shaolin drunkard,
right.
those Miracle Fighters, I think was the first one in that series,
Oh,
which
I
was
like
there.
Miracle Fighters is terrific. Yeah. But now it's also like, I mean, I don't think young. I mean, this is the way it works. I mean, I don't think younger fans even know about Kung Fu Hustle, which
Well,
is
yeah.
just an amazing film.
Well, it's also, the fact that the Hardboil's going in theaters and it's probably getting a new release cleaned up. Maybe this will find people. If Hardboiled, I think Hardboil's on Tubi, so just
Yeah,
fucking
it is.
watch
It is.
Hardboiled.
Yeah, if
You
anybody
know,
hasn't seen Hard Boiled, it's one of those, you know, just the anchors of '90s Hong Kong action. It was just, I mean, it was just The Killer blew people away because it was the first time people really had seen this stuff. That
right?
if you weren't a hardcore
Yeah,
fan,
we
because I didn't know about Better
yeah,
Tomorrow, and
Better Tomorrow, and like that kind of stuff wasn't
everybody kind of fell on that unless they were already huge fans of the genre. But I
well,
mean, The Killers was the first thing that got onto screens,
well,
and I remember seeing the trailer for it, and everybody in the audience it was like the air got sucked out of them. They couldn't breathe. It was just
well,
in.
that's the thing. There was this, we've seen a lot of movies, and you were talking about all these movies that came out, all these genres where you would literally kind of get up in your seat because you're seeing something you've never quite seen
Yeah,
before. I
yeah.
think of
The swordsman
there's
films.
in Hardboiled the garage scene where the two
With Philip
clans are.
Kwok,
I'm sorry, what?
the crazy scene with Philip Kwok.
Yeah.
That scene's amazing.
It's unbelievable. It's like no one does shit like that.
And it keeps
Literally no one.
escalating. It
Yeah,
just keeps escalating.
yeah,
And it's one of those things where the smallest bits of violence are like would have been a big deal in another film.
yeah.
And because he's building off the Killer, and the Killer is one of the most at the time, one of the most over the top. Like you've just never seen this kind of like action new reality of physics are different. I mean, it's the stuff that led to things like the Matrix and whatnot, except without CGI and without a lot of wire work and a lot of crazy shit. People pushing on tables and guns
It,
flying in there and catching them, and I mean, just over the top wild violence.
it's great because it's interesting because I think how John Woo makes a really great old school kung fu movie. He makes two of them. I can't remember the name of the first one, but Last Hurrah for Chivalry
Right.
feels like a Shaw Brothers film, just
Yeah.
and crazy.
Haven't seen that since we saw it back in the
Yeah.
day. Yeah.
Crazy fucking movie. And then what's his name? Oh God.
It's all right. We're all getting old.
Tarantino rips him off for Reservoir
City of
Dogs.
Fire?
Yeah, who directed that? I can't think of
Is
his
that
name.
Ringo Lam?
Yeah, Ringo Lam has Burning Paradise, which is an
I haven't seen that.
absolute,
I don't think I've seen that.
it's a
I
crazy.
know
I have to
he did
call.
what did he do? Shit. Sorry. I'm trying. I remember the first one we watched was the crazy one with that bar scene where people's bullets are, you're
Yeah,
following it. You know, it was absolutely nuts.
I
But it
think
just
that's
felt, yeah, it was like you were seeing something different every, yeah, like it was just like a continuation of the martial arts films. You know, they called them gun fu. Is that you would see a different. Somebody said, okay, he did that. What if we followed the bullets with the camera? You know, what if we watched the thing go through? I mean, they were just one upping themselves and each other constantly. I mean, it just felt like there was competition. You had Choi
yeah.
Park, you had Ringo Lam, you had John Woo. You still had some of the old kung fu things, and then Jackie Chan says, "Well, fuck this.
Yeah.
I'll do Drunken Master too," and try to, add some of that wildness to the traditional kung fu. I mean, it was just, and you had also a lot of really good people starring it. You had Jackie Chan, you had Sammo Hung, you had Yuen Biao, you had why I can't High Risk and
Oh, Jet Li.
Jet Li. I mean, you had Maggie Chung. It's like I don't know what they're doing. I don't know much about what Hong Kong does these days, but it doesn't feel like I mean, there's more movies now than ever. Like we were saying, you can go make a zombie movie about you and your friends stuck in a car. And the zombies go boo, and you talk about women. And it's like, hey, I'm doing Kevin Smith with zombies or
Right,
something.
right, right,
And it
right.
gets on fucking Tubi like anything else. So there's no room for. So I don't know who is the. I mean, uh, what's his face? Uh, Stephen
Stephen Chow.
Chow was making films back then
Yeah,
before
see,
he
this
blew
I
up here.
feel like one day in the future we'll hear what exactly happened with him.
Yeah, I
It's
know.
such a
Well,
weird trajectory.
Triad wasn't it like all he
I
wouldn't fit
don't
in
know. I don't know.
Canada, right? Like
I
he
mean,
wasn't
it seems
allowed
like
in
that's the
certain.
conspiracy, and yeah, but
Who the fuck knows? But he kept making movies.
he
But
did. But there was something different. Maybe he collaborated with a group of people he doesn't anymore, and they were really
who the
instrumental
hell
in
knows? But it's
pushing.
like I don't know who are the big star. I know that what's his face, Ip Man, Donnie Yen.
Yeah.
But Donnie Yen also was around when he was what? Wasn't he in Iron Monkey 2? Iron
Well,
Monkey.
he's an Iron Monkey. He plays um, Master Wong's father in
So
that.
I don't know who inherited.
Well, he's still. Well, that's the thing.
He's
I
still
mean,
working, but I mean, I
if you
don't
think
know
about it,
who.
he's someone that wasn't respected till
Right,
fairly late in the game.
right.
When we were watching this stuff and going crazy in the '90s and then in the 2000s,
He kind of had that UNBL thing going where
right? And
respect is not popular.
right, I think it was SPL, Killzone, which really once that happened, all of a sudden he starts making these. They're
He,
like, oh, this guy's great. He
yeah,
is
he ends
so
up.
fucking amazing in the last John Wick movie. He
Yeah.
basically plays Zatoichi. He's a
Oh,
blind
really?
swordsman with a sword cane. He is amazing.
Oh man,
They say
I did see that. Yeah,
they say they want to develop a film with him, but uh,
America will fuck it up more if
yeah.
he's the star.
But he's such a but
No,
yeah,
it
I
was,
don't.
it was kind of wild how he kept going and then ended up becoming feel like he was the number one guy for many years. So the thing is, I have no idea. Like Donnie Yen was all over. Like you go on YouTube, on Tubi or Netflix, and it was Ip Man, Ip Man, Ip Man, and then all this other Donnie Yen, the one with him versus Sammo, where with that horrible ending, in a good
Well,
way.
that's SPL, yeah.
Right. So I thought Ip Man was before that. No, I don't know.
Uh,
But that movie was amazing, and
well,
the thing is,
yeah.
he blew up. He was on every. But I don't see like 8 Tubi films or 8 Amazon or net. I don't see it like the new guy or girl like who is the blockbuster Hong Kong actor now, or is it all like?
I don't think we know. I don't think they've broken out for us.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like it's
Yeah,
really weird.
SPL is 2005. Ip Man
Wow,
is 2008.
wow. I feel old.
Yeah, tell me about it. I remember getting this weird screener of yes, kids. That's how what collected movies used to mean. You have to find weird ways of seeing this shit. I'm sure the crazy collectors of
Yeah,
certain foreign shit have to still do this
yeah,
day. But
sure.
of what do you call it? Tom Yum Gum,
Oh, what
the
was that?
projector. That's the second the movie he made after on Bach.
Right. Was that the
And
one with
that,
the elephant?
yeah, the elephant stuff. It
That
just
was
like
insane.
the fucking movie was like, you gotta be kidding me.
Yeah, that
And it
was.
looked like we were gonna get 100 films with this guy being great. And
I don't know what happened with him.
well, I think he went a little crazy.
Didn't he
If
go
you,
nuts and disappear for a while? Like he got
yeah,
really.
but who knows why or what the deal is with that?
Right,
You know,
right. Him and Stephen
yeah,
Chow were
yeah,
in a box.
yeah.
But yeah, it doesn't feel like there's that. It feels like that's. I mean, I'm sure that will kick back in someday.
Oh yeah, of
But I
course.
mean, it just feels weird that like I was watching movies that I didn't even know existed because two like Shaolin versus Living Dead and they're not good, but it's just interesting to see them floating around that they were still making this crap in the CGI age that they're still
Yeah.
trying to put Mr. Vampire type films together. I can't remember the one that. Yeah, I think it was called something like Shaolin. It was just like and it was not very good.
Well, there's a Gordon Liu one from like the late 2000s.
Oh, Choi Hark's Vampire Hunters. That's one of the ones.
Yeah, that one. That's a miss, right?
It's a mess.
Yeah.
In fact, I think that's the one that ends where they literally just said, "We're going to make another one, and we're going to show you
It might be better.
what might happen in the next one." And they never made it. It ends over the credits.
Yeah.
They just like slapped out an ending over the credits, and it's really I mean, it's not a great movie anyway, but it was kind of disappointing. I'm trying to find the Yes, most of what I did in 2000, a lot of things what I did in 2025 was rewatch a lot of Italian films, a lot of 70s, and a lot of black and white. I went through that period where I was just watching black and white movies.
Yeah.
They were horrible. You said that if I watched the color movie, it was gonna like blind me.
Yeah, you.
I felt like I was gonna be like in Mad World when God, why can't I remember the actor's name now? Mr. Magoo. The drunk pilot when he wakes up and somebody opens up, he's really drunk, and they open up the blinds and he sees the sun and he goes flying back like a vampire and falls over furniture. What was that? Jim Backus.
Jim Backus.
In that. You know what I watched, which was dumb, but I enjoyed it. The House of Wax remake from 2003.
What, the one with
The one that has what the dumb.
Oh, that's not nice.
I
Paris Hilton.
Paris Hilton in it. I mean, she doesn't destroy the movie. She's really not in it. But it's a weird movie because it's kind of like it's the kind of movie that reminds me it's like the Jason X of House of Wax movies, you know, or what's the Texas Chainsaw 2.
Right.
It's just ridiculous. But it's a hermetically sealed its own world. Like in this one,
well, you're going to start talking about this. I have to urinate. I'll be right back. Talk to
House of Yuck. So if anybody wants to, I don't know if Stevie's still there, or if she left to get a sandwich, or she finally divorced Paul because this is boring or something. I don't know. If anybody wants to kick in and say, here's a movie that I saw in 2025 that was made in 2025, and maybe it's good, you know, because I can only remember films that I've seen that people recommend. Like I finally saw Green Room, which I know is not 2025. It's probably much older than I thought it was. In fact, Scott Dorward had recommended it years ago, and I watched that. I found that very, I enjoyed that. My stomach hurt for that one because it just feels like, you know, it doesn't almost feel like a horror movie. It feels like a, you know, come to Portland and meet some Nazis. Weapons. Yeah, you know, I don't know anything about Weapons. I don't know anything really about Sinners. Those are two movies that I would like to see, but of course, they're movies that were really pushed. And you know, a lot of times that you see Primate. Yeah, I've seen the poster, and that's about it. But right, Primate, The Plague. I don't know The Plague. That one. I mean, the other thing is, man, nobody knows how to title their movies. I mean. Dust Bunny. Okay, I'm writing that one down. And yeah, I didn't see Weapons. Weapons looked like it was like an Image comic. You know, it looked like kids on bikes or something, if I remember the posters. Sinners, I know people really like Sinners. Yeah, it's like, you know, like anything else. You know, like I finally watched, probably in the last year, I finally watched Get Out, and I thought Get Out was really strong. I really liked it quite a bit, and it was nothing like exactly I thought it was going to be. And then, you know, I mean, this is apropos of nothing, I remember watching The Babadook, which is one of those movies where I came to it late. Everybody everybody was nuts about it, and I found I just didn't love it. I liked the first half, the first
What,
2/3.
what are we talking about?
Oh, no, just trying to talk about, people were mentioning films from 2025 that they had seen and liked.
Yeah.
Influencers. I don't know if I see the problem with influencers or influencer is that there's all these online horror films now that are made that
Yeah.
I'm now this is me not knowing what influencers is about, but there are so many. There's like you know Dead Screen and Host was fun. I mean, it was a cute little bit of business. It wasn't the greatest thing ever, but I think it came out at a time when people were grasping at straws because of the pandemic. But I mean, there's this new thing of, I forget, there's a name for it, but these movies where basically it's screens. I think screen might be part of the term there for it, but they're like found footage, except it's people playing video games or people online with one
Right.
another, and something creepy happens. I really love the idea. I love the conceit, but it so much hangs on the acting and the writing, and writing and acting is where almost every fucking thing on earth fails, because you have to work on that. You can't be lazy if you're going to have a bunch of people literally doing what we're doing right now and then introduce a horror element to it and want that to last 100 minutes. It's tough, especially also because these days, everybody gets their friends to act in something, it feels like. So it's always amazing when something like that works. There's a couple of weird ones where these people are literally playing a video game. I've got this strange game I never heard of. And
What was that movie that it was just the guy driving in a car? That was the whole movie. It was a car and it was a camera outside
sounds vaguely
and it was
familiar.
driving a wrong road and sometimes zombies would come out.
Really? This
Right?
sounds hilariously
And
not.
then like the ending was like 20 minutes long because that's all it was.
Was it any good?
No, it was one of the worst things I've ever seen in my life.
The things that I've seen that are like, I can't remember the names of them, except I think it was like the something Blue Lakes or whatever. Is this type of found footage where it's basically it's a home movie for like 70 minutes, and it's basically a travelogue. And then somebody says, "Hey, did you notice? Look at that sign over there. It's got blood all over it." And then like 20 minutes later, everybody dies. And it's like it's like, because there's no tension. There's just nothing
Yeah.
built into it at all. I mean, there's no like, uh, they don't even seem to have an urban legend or a ghost story. I mean, it's just we're kayaking and we're kayaking and we're kayaking, and what happened to Peter? A lot of them are international, and they're just very bad versions of bad uh, homemade American found footage films. And if found footage is another thing where it's like I hated it. I watched a few that I really liked, and then it's like you can't seem to find anything that works. It seems like the only ones that work are meta or are documentaries, fake documentaries like um, Lake Mungo. And again, it really is. It's a writer's and an actor's field.
So the movie I was talking about, it's known as either Invasion or Infection from 2008.
Great. I'm going to watch this because I'm an idiot.
Albert Pune.
I thought he was dead. Well,
He wasn't dead in 2005.
This kid, what? Infection or inflection? What?
Or Invasion or
Or
Infection.
wait, infection or inflection or infliction?
I'm gonna fucking
Affliction. Then affliction?
inflict.
Infestation?
I'm gonna do this for the first time.
Insta baby. Frustration? Are you still my friend?
Put down that dirty money.
Not to play with the.
This is it.
Oh well, wait a second.
Now-
With cover art like that.
Now, if you look at the
Oh my God! It's done on Pixel Vision.
right, it is only
Hold
a
on.
car driving
Go down
and like
a little bit.
people
Go
get
down a
out.
little. It's got a 4-1 or something like that. Like, shouldn't this have a 1-2 or something? I can't stand people on fucking.
But yeah, this is
That's
it.
great.
But whatever. Yeah, you should
Countermeasure 5.
you should watch that.
I'm gonna watch it. It's an hour and 20 minutes of my life I hate.
Yeah.
I have a new camera. Did I look?
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do.
Remember that comic that they put out, the 3D Three Stooges, and it was like it looked like this on the cover because you didn't have 3D when you were buying it, so it just had Mo, and it was. Here you go. When I wrestle, this is going to be my. I'm going to come out and do the 3D Mo, like the Dudley Boys, but with I don't know what I'm talking about anymore. So what else did you see?
Oh,
Anything? If anybody
okay.
wants to chime in, we're always here to take.
No,
Look,
I'll tell you because there's other
I've
things.
got The Plague, Dust Bunny. This is what they talked about. Actually, I should tell you this. Have you seen The Plague from
No.
2025? Have you seen Dust Bunny from 2025?
I'm dying to, but I
Really?
haven't seen it. Yes.
I never heard of it.
Yeah.
Did you see Weapons?
I've tried 3 times. I haven't been able to get through it. I didn't like Barbarians. It's me. Don't judge me.
Oh no, you know.
I'm not talking to you.
Yes, you are. That's what we're doing here, you dum dum. You big dum dum.
Balls. What is that?
Hey, Sinners.
I'm not sure what that is.
Sinners. Everybody, it's the
biggest... Sinners. I thought you said sitters.
Sitters. Like it's about babysitters who.
No, I think Sitters is terrific. I actually think.
I thought you liked it. Yeah.
The horror elements almost detract from how good it is because it gets into some tropey stuff
and something called influencers. I think you came in just as
yes.
Scott.
No, I have. Scott was mentioning that. No,
I don't know anything about that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched Squirm again. I still like it. I don't care what anybody says. I love Squirm.
That's good.
It's on my I like it and I don't care what anybody says. Squirm is good. You know what I can't find? I know that we didn't love it when we watched it at your house many years ago, but the first half was pretty good. I want to see the Jeff Lieberman film.
God Told Me To.
No, that's. I like God Told Me To, but it's not. That's Cohen.
Oh, that's Cohen.
Lieberman. Dawn. Just until dawn.
Oh,
until dawn. Until dawn.
Deadbeat Till Dawn.
No, that's a crazy horror action
thing. Then I don't know. Wait.
No, it's the one about it's the people go into the woods and there's murders, but just before dawn.
Oh, just before.
Remember, dawn. It started really great.
Right, because that was
typical.
Right at the time, that wasn't that was one of those films where I don't remember this from the 80s. Really,
it was not well known.
So we it came out and we were like, yeah, it just doesn't work.
Starts great. There's that amazing shot at the beginning of the van with the character hanging off of it.
Yeah.
It does peter out, but it's one that I want to rewatch, and just knowing that I might not love it, I might set better this time, because I'm fascinated by that guy, that he never just made a perfect film. Like, it felt like it was Squirm. I find really interesting. People think I know people hate it. A lot of people think it's really silly, but I think it's a pretty great, jerky regional.
Oh, I think it's great. Yeah.
Creepy fucking movie with more imagination than you'd expect from a movie.
Yeah. How much did you spend to make that movie?
God only knows. Yeah, but I mean, it works. The town works. The characters work, and the fucking worms are creepy. And the guy who gets I don't even know exactly what happened to Worm Face.
He gets influenced by the worms.
Yeah, you have this guy getting worms in his head, and then he starts, like RFK, except he doesn't ruin other people's lives. And then he makes Blue Sunshine, which is almost really good. Starts great, and probably influenced Firestarter.
I actually think that Blue Sunshine it peters out.
Yes, but I think it's good.
I think it works. I think it's a very unusual movie.
But the ending is
very disturbing
at the end.
Yeah, it kind of didn't know where it was going.
Just the last few minutes, really. It doesn't have a satisfying ending. But I'll take it. It doesn't have a satisfying ending over it doesn't have a satisfying anything.
Well, the beginning is absolutely insane. It's fucking mind-boggling,
crazy, and it's a great idea. I mean, it's basically the Firestarter.
Does it have like a movie on vigilantes or something? Or why can't I? My mind is misfiring. I'm thinking of other.
I think he makes Just Before Dawn, which is kind of his most typical film in a way, except that it's got a twist, but he always throws something really weird into his films, and then I really actually liked it up until a certain point, but he ends up not making anything for a while, and then he makes Satan's Little Helper.
Oh, sure, right.
Turns to absolute shit, unfortunately, but starts. He's got a really good sense of putting characters into a situation, almost a Stephen King type thing, where the characters come across and the environment comes across, or the concept comes across. Like the town in Squirm, the friends and the forests in Just Before Dawn, the situation and the fallout in uh, Blue
Sunshine.
Blue Sunshine. I mean, it's like you go with it. You know what I mean? It's kind of like Larry Cohen like,
Right.
but almost more controlled. And Satan's Little Helper is a comedy, which maybe is one of the reasons it doesn't come together. But you really get a sense of this little island community and the people in it. And then unfortunately it just goes. But I mean, like his other movies, there's always a couple of scenes where you just go, that's out of nowhere. That just
No.
and there's a scene where I won't blow it, but there's just a scene where the guy writes graffiti on a wall, and it's very wrong, but memorable. Like I'll remember that scene from a failed movie more than I will remember Final Destination Bloodlines.
Right.
Which I had to write down. I mean, the one thing about Final Destination movies though is you won't forget what the concept is, unlike a lot of movies. Like
Right.
If you go, what was Valentine's Day about? It sucked, but I know it was Valentine's stuff.
Right.
But I don't remember anything else about it. I rewatched My Bloody Valentine this last year.
Yeah.
It's a weird movie because some people, it has such a bad reputation.
It just doesn't work for me.
Oh, I like it. Quite like it. I think it's a funny group of characters, and there's a lot of interestingly gross set pieces happen. It's paced out nicely. I like that. I like the idea. I like the town. The town actually, the people and the characters really do seem to like. We all remember this. We don't want to talk about it. As opposed to like these in the modern when somebody has to move into town so everybody can talk about it, and tell them about it so they can learn about it. And it feels like in new ones people don't remember what happened. It's like that's it. It doesn't work actually. Yeah, I was confused by something in Final Destination because I was wondering why do all the characters don't know about this collapse of a building, and it was because it didn't happen. They let you know later on. Sorry, because it broke from the earlier ones where everybody died, and this one nobody died. Oh, but also, oh my God, Final Destination. There's a scene where somebody throws a penny. A penny gets lodged in between the train tracks, and it derails a train. I mean, come on. What if that was done in the 50s, you'd say that's bullshit. So what an annoying film from a logic standpoint. It's just like there's no way on earth you can have what happens because of a penny. But I watched
this year. I watched Silence of the Hams, the parody movie with Tom.
I've never seen any horror parody movies.
Really?
Was it any good?
Oh, it was terrible.
Look, I've never seen Stan Helsing. I've never seen.
I watched that the day after we saw Playtime in the theater.
Oof. That's your twofer.
Yeah, there you go.
Beautiful work. But Stan Helsing doesn't break your career. Playtime will destroy your career. Stan Helsing, you get a Stan Helsing 2. Playtime 2. Hey, I've never seen Transylvania 65000. I've never seen Haunted Honeymoon.
You never saw Saturday the 14th
or Saturday the 14th too. I've never seen.
Just been Saturday the Sunday the 15th, right?
I really don't know how that works. I didn't see it, and I've never seen Scary Movie. I've never seen Slaw. I'm not listening to your jive turkey stuff.
You're dismissing me as if what I'm saying isn't.
I'm not dismissing you. I'm just ignoring what you're saying.
Have you seen Satan's Black Wedding?
I think I have, but
low budget, 1976. That was great.
No, I think I've just seen that recently. But here's the problem: you call something Satan's Black Wedding, and I'm like, it could be Satan's slaves, it could be Satan's school for cheerleaders, Satan's cheerleaders, Satan's children, Satan's school for children. I don't know which is which anymore. The bride wore the bride blood spattered bride. The bride wore blood. I don't know which movie's which. So what is Satan's Black Wedding? Because can you call it up?
Can I call? Oh, can I show? Sure. Hold on.
Talk to God. Let's see God talk. Hello. Let me show Satan's Black Wedding to you, Paul. because I'm just IMDb to you. This is how you use your connection to God. Hello. Hi, everybody. I love you. I love you. Love you.
Oh, Jesus
Hello.
Christ.
I've just been drinking water. I have not been. I was gonna break out some beer.
You should have had some beer.
I gotta buy some champagne. What's a good champagne to buy for when your president dies?
Ask Stevie. She knows about the champagne.
Okay. Ask Stevie sounds like a brand of champagne. Oh la la la. Steve. Man travels to another city from which he kills him. He's actually a vampire returns to Zither.
And it's got like it's like here's the guy. Come on.
I may not have seen this. I might have this on my list of things to see. Have I seen? You know, the problem is, I mean, like again, well, that guy's cool looking. Oh, I don't think I've seen it. Liberty Tax. What does that have to do with anything?
I don't know.
Wow. I don't think I've seen this.
Oh yeah, you'll laugh your ass off at this one.
I might have to watch this like immediately after. It's got Satan's. See, this is. Oh, it's an hour and 1 minute. That's kind of an interesting thing. This is my life. I write these things down and then I completely forget what I just watched.
Right.
So I tried Caveat. Don't know what that was.
Oh, did you watch Caveat?
Yeah. Don't know what it was.
That was the guy who's locked. It's the maker of Oddity. It's about someone who he's hired to go on an island and he's strapped to a chain.
Yes. And yeah, it doesn't work, but there was, I mean, first of all, the guy's addled. That's how they get around some of it. The guy had an injury. There's some scenes in it that are really good.
Right. The second movie.
Yes. Okay.
Because I had seen Oddity, which I think is really good. Oddity?
I don't think I've seen Oddity.
Like an expanded segment of an Amicus trilogy.
Yeah.
And it's this, I think it works better. It's got some of the same problems the Caveat had. But to me, these films, like you were saying before, there's enough interesting things in them.
Yeah.
You know, maybe they're not home runs yet.
Yeah. There's some sequences though there's some Italian style sequences with the bodies and things that have been in, you know, the decrepitude, the secrets in the walls type stuff. And there's a couple of and then at the end though, that you know, that scary bit.
Yeah.
Because you're not sure, you know, you don't know, is this a supernatural film or is this just a horror crime film, you know, horror weird film? And then there's that bit that happens and it's like, that was fucking creepy. There's some, you know, I was not sorry I watched it. I thought that it was on shaky legs, if that's a way of putting it. I thought it was always on shaky legs, but it pulled off, you know what I mean? If it was a juggler, a few balls were dropped, but some really nice stunts. It's a small, quiet film, and I didn't buy everything, but I liked the weirdness. I liked the tension.
Right. Now this is a scene from Oddity.
Oh.
Oddity is.
Did I see this? No, I did not.
Oddity is about. Well, I guess it was also called Medium. Oddity is about a blind psychic who delivers that kind of weird homunculus thing to her dead sister's husband and new girlfriend. Says, I gotta do this.
I would think don't accept that into your house, I would think.
But there's a lot, honestly, there's a lot in the beginning of like, why the girlfriend's like, why the fuck are we doing this?
Right.
Why are we doing
this? You have to wear these chains.
Right, exactly. But I thought I would, again, and what works with Caveat to me is you don't have a big budget, you don't have a lot of locations to do.
Yeah.
And you've got to kind of keep it interesting. Yes, it wasn't.
I was always interested in finding out what the hell was going on or what was going to happen. I didn't necessarily buy the execution of a few ideas, but I did. Yeah, I couldn't remember the damn name. I can't remember half these things what I've watched. You know, it's like what was Brightwood? What was Hard Ticket to Hawaii? Was that
Hard Ticket? That's one of the crazy action films.
Is that the one they did? Is that one of those Andy Sedaris?
Yeah.
Oh, I usually don't watch those, but that's funny. Cabin Fever, hated those. Yeah, I hated all the what was Chemical Peel? I don't remember. Werewolves Within. That was a comedy that wasn't great.
with I think the girl from that
The
series of commercials that
yeah,
everybody.
I didn't get through that, and I like her. I like the actor that's in it. He's
Yeah, I thought the acting was terrific, but I thought that the writing
story didn't
fell
just
apart.
yeah.
I thought it started well. There's a twist ending in the end, but it just doesn't. I liked when the two of those characters were together, but the others were like we're doing Northern Exposure, but wackier, and it just was. It was just like they should. You could just put a sign on the characters. I'm a wacky character, and it would have been about as funny as what they actually did on screen. I mean, it just needed sharper writing. I liked what they were trying to do.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was a total piece of shit, but yeah, the Vortilac. People loved the Vortilac. I thought it was okay. That's
Oh,
the one
Evan,
with
before I forget, write down this movie to watch, Ghost Killer.
TV what is that? Antenna King, Ghost Killer.
Yeah.
All right, what is Ghost Killer? Because I may have seen it, but it's a title.
It's a 2024 martial arts film.
Oh, then I didn't see it. Okay.
It stars one of the actresses that's in the. Now I can't remember the fucking what kid.
I know. Our
Baby
podcast.
Assassins.
I don't fucking remember. Oh my god, I can't remember this.
Do you know that there's this series of films called The Baby Assassins?
Yes.
So
I've not watched them though.
I've only seen the third one. I liked it. This is one of the actresses. This is a fun, low budget martial arts film. Ghost revenge can possess the body of this.
Okay, sounds good.
So that was fun.
No, that does sound good. Let's see. Rewatched a bunch of Marx Brothers movies. That's funny. The Centerfold Girls.
Oh
Yeah,
shit!
This is me on a big '70s kick a few months ago. The Centerfold Girls is. I watched two movies with the same actor now. He's from Simon of the Witches.
Ian.
No.
No, that's not.
Shit. He's in a ton of stuff, and now I can't. The Centerfold Girls is a weird one. It's I'm a serial killer, and it's basically like a triptych. You watch this guy stalk and kill somebody for a half an hour. And Andrew Prine. It's Andrew Prine, who he's Simon King of the Witches, and he's in a bunch of horror films. And then he's also in Barn of the Naked Dead, which is a title that I'm like, I have to find it. I got to see what Barn of the Naked Dead is. And first of all, it is a barn.
Are they dead?
No, they're not in the barn, and they're not naked.
Well, I don't think the dead have to be in the barn. I think they could be close to the barn.
It doesn't work that way. Basically,
what doesn't work that way?
He trundles off one of the people that he's chained up in his barn to a shack where there's something in it.
A love shack?
A horse shack. A shit shack. But he takes them to something in there goes. Yeah, and actually that's where the creepiest thing is. But they don't deal with that much. He just sits there and yells at all these women in the desert that he's chained up. It's really kind of like Barn of the Chained Up Women.
Yeah.
What are you doing? You're banging something.
This?
Is that your heartbeat?
Yeah, I'm having a heart attack. No, I'm sorry you heard that. I didn't realize you heard that.
Somebody told me that I should get life alert because I fell down again. And but I told them that I saw someone in Asia has developed a suit for old people that when they fall down,
does it puff up? Does
the
it
vest pops? The airbag pops open in the vest, and then you roll into a ditch and get hit by a car.
Right.
You end up in a drainage ditch or something, But no, yeah, that's what I'm looking at.
Yeah, I'm looking through my list of what I watched in 2025, and I did remember I rewatched He Knows You're Alone.
Is that the Staten Island one?
No, He Knows You're Alone is the.
Is that Carol Kane?
Yeah. No, I'm sorry. He Knows You're Alone is the Staten Island one. I'm sorry. Yes.
Yeah, I want to rewatch that because I remember being not terrible, but also a great Staten Island.
Right,
one of the great Staten Island films.
You have Tom Hanks hanging out at an arcade that my father took me when I was a little boy to ride rides, and that
Sarah
Evan would go crazy to play pinball at.
And on Newdorp, where all the Hanleys, where there have been 1, 2, 3, 4 Jim Hanley affiliated locations on Newdorp Lane, and you get to see old 80s Newdorp Lane.
Yeah.
And you can buy a suit there. And I think that the old the lingerie store that I used in Welcome to Eltingville for the clothing store that the
Oh, really? That was
members
that
are
one.
all wiping, which it ended up being one when Hanley moved out of the mall. That he took over that store.
Right.
I can't remember the name of it. I'm hoping Old Classic Staten Island will help me with that one, the
Yeah.
Instagram thing. But yeah, that's the store where Pete is like rubbing the windows because there's these alien costume girls in there. Yeah, that's still there, I think. The Betty Brown shop.
Thank you, Stevie.
Yeah, thanks, Stevie. No tips.
Well, that's for sure.
Jim Hanley's Cinematic Universe. I guess Jim's been in one movie. I guess they used the store for that kids movie, the one that
Right. Right.
used the milk and cheese stuff on the poster without clearing it, and I got paid. I got a check for that. I thought you'd be happy. Yeah, but you're not supposed to do that, man. You're not supposed to do that. So yeah, I didn't go see the movie. I haven't seen it.
I have not seen it.
What do I want to see a movie about comic book people? I fucking live that. You know what I mean? I want a day off from that. It's like, hey, you want to see a movie about a depressed Jew on Staten Island? No, I got that. I got that.
I would think that a movie about shit that happened at Jim Hanley's would seem so unbelievably stupid, and that these things didn't happen.
Well, if we had a real movie about what happened,
people, the characters make no sense.
They make such bad decisions.
I've been thinking about the Frank Harding on the truck story. It's all the time. I've been thinking about it, thinking about how it doesn't make sense this happened in the real world.
You gotta tell that story straight out one time, because at some point, because when you're not so high, because that story is we were talking about that at the holiday a couple of weeks ago, and I could still piss my pants over that one, because I wish I did not see the events that happened.
Yeah,
I was not there for it, and it's one of the best. Like, if it was in a movie, it feels like it should be in a movie with Alan Arkin, or somebody like that. Like, it's such an absolute, or Albert Brooks. It is such except it's a little more physical comedy.
Should I just tell the story?
Hell yeah.
Okay, so one day,
all right,
we're in the city.
Frank is just, well, tell them. Sorry, I was gonna. Sorry.
What did you want to say?
I was gonna editorialize, but there's no point to that. You go.
Okay, so
anyway, what I was gonna say was, I won't.
Just like Evan said, we hang out. Thursdays became a night we'd hang out in the city. So for different periods, there would be times every Thursday we'd hang out in the city. So we were going to hang out on a Thursday, and I was there. Our friend Brian and our friend Frank were there, and we were walking to the bar. And I guess we're on the Bowery. And as we're crossing the street, a truck kind of goes by and gets very close to our friend Frank. And Frank's response is to punch the truck and go, "Hey, what the fuck are you doing?"
Real quick, describe Frank to a degree.
Frank's like 6'1", 6'2", varying weights. At this time, he was a big guy, a big imposing fucking guy.
Curly hair.
Yeah, curly hair, long curly hair.
He came to Halloween once as Bluto.
As Bluto, and
he looked perfect. He looked great.
So he is now yelling at the window of this truck, screaming, "What the fuck is wrong with you? Don't you know what's going on?" Now they want to go away. Now they've stopped because
who's in the truck, Paul? Real quick.
Right. It seems to be a few young people. The theory is that it might have been a truck of kids driving equipment for a shoot, because it might have had like film equipment in it. This is all conjecture, of course, but it seems to be like a guy, a girl, maybe another guy, maybe another girl, all sitting in the front of this, small box truck, right? They're stopped at a light. The light's going to change, so they start going. So Frank goes, "Stop, stop." At one point they're backing up, so he's in the back of it. He's going, "Stop," and then they're trying to drive ahead of something, and he stops, stop, and then the light turns. Now he's in front of the truck, The truck takes off, and Frank is gone. Brian and I we duck right away to see if we could see, did Frank like tumble under the truck? Did they hit him? Frank is hanging on this truck, the front of this truck, speeding down the Bowery, right? He's screaming at these kids that they have to stop, right? They don't know what's going on. They think this lunatic is trying to kill them. So they don't know how to get him off. Because if they stop at a light, he'll like put his feet down to rest. But if they try to move, he gets back on. They can't get him off. So as the lights change, they're driving. So first they try to put on the wipers. So the wipers are going on. I imagine they spray the stuff. That's what I'm hoping. Right? And that doesn't work. So they have a flashlight. I don't know if anybody remembers the old metal mag flashlights. They were like what security guards and cops would carry. You could use them as a baton. They were like
and kids who might have giant men on their trucks.
Right. And so as they're driving down this street fast, they start blinking the flashlight and shining the flashlight in Frank's eyes, hoping that he'll
dislodge and die.
But that doesn't work. So they reach out, they start hitting them with the flashlight. Now, while this is going on, Brian and I are running down the street trying to call on our shitty early cell phones 911 because we think Frank's fucked up and we don't know. And as we're running down, you see other people on cell phones with their cell phones out looking down because they saw this guy going down the street. We eventually see Frank. He doesn't look like this, but my mind likes to imagine he's all ripped. His clothes are all ripped up. But he's a little disheveled. And he tells us what happened. And he gets in a car to go and like get to the police and say what happened. But he finally got off the truck because he realized they weren't going to stop and they were going to go on the highway. So he didn't want to be on the highway.
I just love the idea of this big guy hanging onto their car and they put the windshield wipers on.
Yeah.
And then they flash a light in his eye. Yeah. It reminds me, I always feel like it's like it's a mad world when Marvin Kaplan and Arnold Stang are trying to fight Jonathan Winters.
Right. And they're yeah.
Indiana Jones, yeah. And the thing is, the way Frank is too, Frank feels like he was justified to
I was crazy.
Bronco ride this truck.
I don't know if the story lives up to its reputation, but I find
if you know the person,
it's one of the funniest. The idea that
and they stop and they keep going. That's what I think.
Right? Yeah.
They stop. There's a light, and then they drive off with this man.
Yeah.
On their grill again and again. It's pretty awesome. Yeah. I would like to have been there for that one.
Yeah.
I also remember when Frank was in the car with Pat when they borrowed Paul Girardi's car, and they crashed, and Pat was like, "Are you okay?" He goes, "Yeah, because I had Frank in there to bounce off of," and Frank was just like smashed into everything. We had a lot of fun. We had a lot of dumb stories, and nobody died.
Yes.
Lots of fights. Lots of stupid stuff happening.
Yeah.
Paul versus Pat, and then Ray versus Pat. That was a bad night. Yeah. And me and Alex got thrown on the ground. We just walked off. We're middleweights. We don't want to get involved with this shit. Fights in bars, fights at clubs.
The time Pat worked as a bouncer for a day, and he was attacked by guys with machetes.
I don't remember
the cops because someone died.
Where was he working?
Some weird place. I forget where it was. They made him hide in a hubby hole.
I remember when he showed up at the Beastie Boys and he had his gun with him, and he was a police officer, and they wouldn't let him in, and he basically was like, I'm gonna go get don't know if we had phones then or whatever. I don't remember exactly what the deal was, but we knew he was gonna leave to go to his precinct and drop the gun off, and he did it in something like an unbelievably short amount of time. he went to another borough by car and dropped the gun off and got back. He must have gunned it and just gone ridiculous. You know, he was,
Yeah, I can't remember how many times we've talked about him, but it's like the
well, he
thing I
needs his
remember
own
when Pat
podcast.
was.
We'd have to get like some kind of, we'd have to sign him off on it, because Pat would make a good some kind. You know, Pat's stories are very, very.
Every time I drove with him in the beginning when I first met him, we got into a car accident every time.
I was only in one with him when he sent Annie flying in the back seat when he hit the Brooklyn Bridge. I was in one where I think we've talked. I was in one where he spun 360 on the Brooklyn Bridge, and somehow we ended up right back where we started, and it made everything look like one of those old movies with the Little Rascals when they would have films, footage behind you in the car of you flying around. So, it was very fake looking, but that's what it looked like. It looked like there was a movie happening in the front windshield of Manhattan and then Brooklyn, Manhattan, Brooklyn, Manhattan, back the way we came and then somehow forward. And we were quiet the entire time until we just kept going the same way. Like he didn't stop. The car never stopped. It just went in a complete circle and then went again. And somehow we never hit any of the other cars. I think I went off the road once with him in Staten Island because we were laughing at William Shatner on the radio. We were crying so hard. He was crying so hard that he actually went off by the golf course by Ladderette.
Oh, well, he jumped off a golf cart when we were golfing one day.
Didn't he get hurt?
No, he jumped out of the cart and rolled, and he was driving and we were going down a hill and he thought it was going to spin, so he jumped out of the golf cart.
I think that's how he passed. That's how he passed his police test.
We were very annoying golfers.
I hate golf. I never. Isn't there a golf horror? There is a movie about what's the horror movie that takes place on a golf course?
Oh, The Blades?
Yeah.
Where it's the fucking.
It's the mower. The lawnmower comes after people. It's almost okay.
And that feels kind of parody-ish, doesn't it?
It is.
Like it's 1988.
It's supposed to be like a Jaws parody. So you're right, but yeah, we're right back to where we started. I really never watched the parody movies. I haven't seen Saw, so I wouldn't see Slaw. Can't believe they fucking made Slaw. I haven't seen. You know what? I almost watched the other day. I almost watched the Ginger Dead Man.
Oh Jesus!
That's how low things have fallen. How bad life is these days in this year of
our Lord,
of our horrible man in charge and his administration and everything. Just like, I'll watch the Ginger Dead Man, and I forget why I didn't. Oh, I think what? I think it wasn't a very good print. I want to see a very, very pristine.
Oh, Slash Dance.
No, I've never heard of that.
1989.
What's that?
It's this woman goes undercover as a flash dancer, like when that was big.
Yeah, sure, of course.
And that was on TVs and stuff.
The joke, but I don't know.
And it's one of those things. I think if I remember correctly, it's one of those movies where girls keep on going to auditions to the same fucking theater and getting killed. It's
right.
Close this place down. But that might be something to watch. It wasn't good.
Love of the Death. Here's a weird one. Have you ever seen the Cannibal Man? The Spanish movie, The Cannibal Man? It's not really an exploitation type of movie like you'd expect from a title like that.
Yeah.
And I don't believe he eats people, but he works in a slaughterhouse.
Yeah.
And it turns into basically, Henry Portrait of a Serial Killer type of thing where it's just like depressing.
Yeah.
He bumps somebody off and then he has to keep bumping people off, and then he uses the facilities he works as his way to get rid of the bodies. It's really it's kind of like I liked it. It's not brilliant or anything like that, but it's not like a you watch something called The Cannibal Man, you expect a lot of a very different film. Yeah, I'm trying to find anything that was interesting that wow.
You must have seen Killer Party from '86.
That sounds familiar though, but
it's three sorority. Yeah, please, three sorority pledges. It feels like a lot of other movies, but they're really kind of fun characters that you almost wish weren't gonna have to. Some of them die.
Sure.
You
What's it
know, it's
called
one of
again?
those. Killer Party '86.
I feel like I probably
I
have.
mean, you'll know the cover, but I thought it was one of those movies I skipped because I thought I'd saw it a million times, and then
Right,
no, I've never
right.
seen this.
Sure. No, but that's what it sounds like. It sounds like I feel like I've seen it, but there's got to be a ton of other. I finally watched Manos: The Hands of Fate.
Yeah,
I actually thought it was fun. I mean,
yeah.
and it's I didn't think it needed uh Mystery Science Theater to be funny. Everybody talks about how boring it is, and I'm like, have you watched movies? Like, it's a funny bad movie. I mean,
Yeah,
that
yeah,
Hook guy is fucking amazing,
yeah.
but I didn't think it's as bad as I think it's horrible.
Right.
But I was expecting a movie where like paint dried. You know, I was expecting the worst. Let's see. I rewatch. Why did I rewatch New York Ripper?
I rewatched Don't Go in the House.
I did too, but I think I saw the cut version, but I've already seen the uncut version. So I think Don't Go in the House is actually a creepy,
Yeah,
small. You know, it's not junk.
it works. It's weird. It's
It
such a
is.
weird movie.
I mean, it's got elements of Maniac. I don't know if it was made before or after that, but it's got that weird. You know, I keep my bodies close,
Yeah.
talk to them, that type of thing. What did I? Oh, I just the other night I watched a movie that I kept thinking, two movies that I thought that I had already seen, and I wish that I had because watching, I wish that I'd never. One of them was, and I confused them. One's called The Undertaker, and the other is called,
Is that the Spinell?
yeah,
Well,
yeah.
there's two versions of that movie.
That's what I hear. Yeah,
Yeah.
I watched the one that is supposedly the real movie, not the one that has him watching old movies.
And does it have him show up like superimposed in a coffin in a bad CG? Like
No,
they
I
did
haven't
this,
heard of that.
you know.
Apparently, that it got it's weird. Apparently, the first company to release it on DVD, and it's a known quantity. They decided to recut it and add
Yeah.
going to the movies and they use public domain movies, and so he watches those and talks about them off screen or something like that. And it's not for no reason at all. They decided to redo the movie that way. But the one I saw that's on Tubi, I don't recommend it at all. Is just he's drunk. You know, he's drunk the entire fucking movie. He's slurring his speech, and it's a terrible movie. It's just awful.
Psycho from Texas, 1975.
I went looking for that. Where did you find that? Because I don't think I
Oh, I'm
found
not
it.
sure
Okay.
where.
Was it terrible?
No, I enjoyed it. I think it's an interesting watch. It's
Okay.
it's weird. It's very regional. It's you'll see people in stores will be interesting to watch,
sure,
in
yeah.
bars, and
I'm a fan of that.
odd, silly movie in a lot of ways. I forgot I watched all these movies.
Yeah, I started watching some Corman films that I've never seen or haven't seen in so long that I forgot them, and so I watched some of them were made. The Cry of the Banshee was not good. I really hate that's a Vincent Price one. It's just
Right.
there's really no banshee in it, and it's like a crappy Mask of the Red Death.
Right.
I watched Mask of the Red Death, which was okay. I was enjoying it until they got to the RD last. You know, Corman has these weird pretensions,
Yeah, sure.
and there's this dance sequence at the end which just doesn't cut it. It just really doesn't work. The Premature Burial with they couldn't get Vincent Price for that one. It's what's his face, Ray Milland. It's jerky.
Yeah, sure.
I rewatched the City of the Dead, I think it's called, the English horror hotel with Christopher Lee, which is really good.
Okay.
It's, I think 1960, comes out at the same year as Psycho and has a very similar beat. It has very, there's a character that you don't expect to disappear.
Right.
So it's kind of weird. What was this one? I rewatched Demon. I went through a lot. Hell of the Living Dead is the one with the African National Geographic stuff thrown in that we saw at Exhumed, which is just hilarious. I mean, if you want to watch a terrible zombie film, Italian zombie film, Hell of the Living Dead makes zombie and Nightmare City seem like Carnival of Souls or something. It's so bad. See, here's the weird thing: when you get a movie that you from Sweden, right? And or Finland, and it's got a name, so you like, I kind of know, like a movie called Sessentunchi
Okay.
in 2010, and I think it's Swedish. I have absolutely no idea what it was. Not a
Okay.
clue. Not a clue. Sessentunti. I watched it. What was it? I don't know. Absolutely don't know. But most of these things, I mean, what was the touch of Satan? What was She Walks the Woods? What was Berserker? Oh no, Berserker is horrible. Don't watch Berserker, right? I do
Okay.
remember. Berserker was supposed to be about a Berserker is so fucking weird. Berserker is about a Scandinavian berserker, a Viking spirit is supposed to be in some camp where everybody's getting to get chopped up. But you don't see him. You see a bear. And you can't figure out, is he a bear? Is he a bear spirit? Is he possessing a bear?
Right.
And at some point, the bear turns out to be just a bear. But
So
the
Puff's
bear is
it's
killing
just a
people. And
bear.
it's fucking insane. Uh, where was Severed Ties? What the fuck was Severed Ties? What was the Dark Tapes? What was Mr. Jones?
I rewatched Prophecy, that terrible movie.
The one with the bear, the
Yeah.
mutant bear. That was Robert Foxworth. It was
Yeah. And
terrible. I remember everybody saying it was terrible, and I finally watched.
Talia Shire gets treated like shit. She's like, oh, I can't tell anybody I'm pregnant. I know there's mercury in
He's
the
terrible. He's a horrible character.
Yeah.
Absolute piece of shit.
Yeah.
But he's not presented as he's the
No,
movie.
they don't say, this
Right.
guy's fucking
The movie is
horrible.
not saying here's a piece of shit, and part of his character is that he is absolutely misogynistic and condescending, and he's a do-gooder who doesn't like recognize how he impacts people. It's just horrible. Absolutely horrible.
It is getting a little late. Do you want to go through some questions that I've
Oh, I didn't know we had any questions.
Yes,
That would be
they've
great.
been starred, and so let's
That's
see if I
great.
see. We got some. Oh, so,
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Oh, at Exhumed, that would be a good one. That was a fun one. We watched
Yeah.
that at your house stuff for Kung Fu. Yeah, yeah. We Are Going to Eat You is Choi Hark doing a. It was surprising because everybody's like, "Oh, it's a cannibal movie." We had no idea that it actually would have martial arts in it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's like a movie where everyone's chasing you and you have martial arts skills to get away from them.
Yeah, and it's a really fun
movie.
goofy movie.
Rewatch that one. What a great title.
Yeah, it came up before,
Oh.
I've been meaning to rewatch The Perfume of the Lady in Black for a long time and kind of think about the movie.
Yeah.
Like really watch it and think about it because you know what's going to happen.
I got
so
real.
You can watch it.
I love that movie. I really like. I mean, I think there's some parts that don't work, but that was a movie that when it was finished, I was so depressed, and I've been meaning to watch that movie again, and I can't. I just haven't been able to. I'm not in the right mood for it because it's just. It would make an interesting double feature with Short Night of Glass Dolls.
Okay, that's interesting.
Which also has somebody who finds themselves in a unfortunate position at the end. And I found I liked Short Night of Glass Dolls on the whole. I thought it needed a little something extra, but the conspiracy stuff was pretty cool, and the tracking that this doctor does to find out what's going on. I'm actually I would like to, if I could get a poster I would love to get the poster of The Perfume and the Woman in Black, with the one where it's
it's a great
Mimsy Farmer with wearing the veil. Mainly because it was in the movie Closed Circuit, and the Closed Circuit takes place in an Italian TV movie that we've talked about before. It's a real weird one, and I'm sure people would be split about it because it has an ending that definitely will It's hard to just go, yeah, that was okay. You'll either really like the ending or you'll be like, the. And yes,
that has that.
Yes, Prophecy. I think they. Yes. Well, if Short Night of Glass Dolls, you found that nightmarish, you will find exactly, Scott. If you thought that was nightmarish, you should definitely see The Perfume of the Lady in Black, because it trumps it, in my opinion. But in closed circuit, they go behind the scenes into the office of the offices of the movie theater, and there's a poster for the perfume of the lady in black, and I just think it's just so striking. There's been one on eBay for like the last 2 years, for like 100 and something bucks, but I just haven't, I'm like, would I do anything? But yeah, the perfume of the lady in black is definitely worth hunting down. It's creepy, and any movie where Mimsy Farmer is in danger, I get all worried. I'm totally crushed on her. So Four Flies and Great.
Yeah, have I remember seeing Pet Cemetery a million years ago. I have not. There is some. There are certain '80s horror films because I grew up watching these, and I was alive in the '80s that just wash over me.
Yeah.
They have no pull. It's like, and that's one of them. It just, I think I've seen it once, and it's something about it.
I The problem I have with Pet Cemetery is that when you literalize that book, you start to see how stupid the characters act. In the book, you get this feeling that you can hand wave away some of the dumb things that these characters do, because the book really gets into how harried they are and how upset they are, and he's not getting along with the wife, she's not getting along with him, the parents hate him. You realize later on that the character, the old man living across the street, he's got secrets that he's holding. But when you think about it, and you watch it, it's a movie about a schmuck who won't buy a fence and another schmuck who won't keep his mouth shut. I shouldn't tell you this, but I'm gonna. The movie, and in the book, because it's got much more fleshed out. I mean, the book, I think the people are all stupid too, but the book, King tries to at least put over this idea that there is a mental force, that there is a evil that's being pushed out from the pet cemetery, that they want these things to happen. But in the movie, you just get an idea that everybody's a fucking moron. You
Right.
know? Oh, look at all the trucks going by. I hope my kid doesn't play in the street. Buy a fucking fence. And don't listen to your stupid kids. Yes,
Yes,
Terry Terry is fun.
it's terrific. I
Yeah.
think it's a
I think
blast.
the guy's done a couple of movies that we've watched. I
Yeah,
think Hugo Stiglitz is in one of them. They're kind of similar. There are lots of kids running around.
yeah,
Um, I
yeah.
enjoyed I enjoyed the bunch of movies that he did. The problem is I can't really. There's one where they're in the house and people are stabbing people into the
I believe
doors. And they're
Cemetery
all,
of Terror has that great scene where the kids are in the house and something happens and it has a shot of them and things are blowing and they feel like they're just fun. They're
yeah, I
insane.
think that
Yeah.
the problem is I think that I mixed the two up that are similar. There's two
Oh,
where
I'm
people,
sure I could be wrong about
yeah,
what I just said. I
there's
do
one
not
where
remember these.
Hugo Stiglitz, the guy with the afro, the Jeff Lynne afro from the Italian movies, he's driving around in Mexico with the kids in one of them, and another
Right.
one. I think they're all hanging out and they're all trying to get laid and stuff in that house, but it's in the middle of the center, and then they try to run out, but everything comes. Dead people start coming at them. They're just fun, lots of
Yeah.
fun. Yeah,
Lots of fun.
yeah.
Uh,
Cemetery
I think I saw
horrible.
Virus a million years ago, but I could not tell you
The only virus
anything
I've
about it.
seen, I've never heard of Virus with Jamie Lee
Yeah.
Curtis. The only one I remember is the Japanese one, which is terrible.
You know.
But I only saw one cut of it, but I can't imagine that another like half hour of it would make the Japan. I've never heard of that. That's so weird. I'm gonna write that down to see what it was. Anybody else got any suggestions or seen anything in 2025 that they liked? Let us know. I'm right.
Roger said he rewatched Gates of
I
Hell.
I just it's another one that the first time I watched it I went this. I think in fact we saw it exhumed. We saw Gates of Hell and I think Hell of the Living Dead, and it was just an overload of stupid. But Gates of Hell, man, it just constantly things are happening. You know, it doesn't make sense, but it doesn't have to, at least. In a way that like zombies should make a little more sense because it's just supposed to be these zombies.
Well, to bring back zombies, Scott before mentioned
Cemetery Man is one of them.
Cemetery Man as Italian zombie.
Yeah.
I don't love Cemetery Man. I think a lot of it's
I
good.
thought you did. I thought you were really into it.
I don't love all of it.
Sure.
I think parts of it don't work for me. Parts of it do. But to me, look, I am very biased in. I narrowly think of zombies as being Dawn of the Dead. And everything about zombies should somehow make sense in that Dawn of the Dead setting. They're slow, There's a lot of them,
Well, they're usually
you
the
know.
Italian ones is slow,
Right, but nothing happens in those fucking
but they're
movies.
gooky. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
They're
I don't
slow
like
and they're gooky, and
when they have
some of them have like
pi the pineapple, the coconut heads.
coconut
Like,
heads,
I
and
hate that.
some of them
Yeah.
are really skeletal, and then some of them are just like meatball heads.
Like, if you think
Oh,
of if you think
Burial Ground is ridiculous.
right.
I can watch it again. I can watch it like once a year. It stinks.
But if you think of a zombie we talked about before, there's a lot of that is like, oh, okay, this is fucking guys in shirts and close-ups of some fucking
Worms. They're always putting maggots
worms
on
and
them and
shit,
stuff.
and I'm like, ugh. So
And they're
mostly I don't like. Yeah, it does not work for me.
it's interesting though. When I was reading Nightmare USA, he covers a bunch of films, including Messiah of Evil, Children Shouldn't Play with Dead Things, Garden of the Dead, which is not good, but and Let's Scare Jessica to Death, which kind of has zombies, and it's hard to figure out. But I mean,
Is it
he
zombies or vampires?
Well, that's the thing. It's really hard to figure out some of the stuff going on in there.
Or is it just
But what he was talking about, which I found really interesting, was how the movies that were done influenced by Night of the Living Dead are really varied. They go kind of all over the place. Because it would also make me think of, I mean, he's only dealing with American films from like 70 to 85. But you think about, I mean, even terrible films like Toxic Zombies and, Let Sleeping Corpses Lie
sure?
is one that I really like. He talks about, like, you've got all these different weird things, like you've got environmental causes for the zombies, you've got technology reasons for them. Garden of the Dead is formaldehyde. It's really it's a dumbass movie, but and then you got these weird Civil War movies and shit like that. But when Dawn of the Dead comes out, everybody does Dawn of the Dead.
Yeah.
Everybody does. We're fighting, we're shooting them in the head. Society's breaking down. Everybody's screaming at each other. Because it's interesting because Dawn of the Dead just blew up. So yeah, but Night of the Living Dead was huge. But not everybody went running out to make Night of the Living Dead movies. But Dawn of the Dead, just once Zombie got made, everybody was making, here's a ton of zombies walking, you're in the castle, you're in a mall, you're in an amusement park, the fucking Nightmare City. You're in a hospital. I mean, it's funny because they're just not as, they're really superficial in a way that Messiah. I mean, I don't even know if there's zombies in Messiah of Evil, but they kind of are. And what the old people are in the town in Jessica.
They feel more like zombies in that than they do in Let's Scare Jessica.
But it's really hard to figure out what they are because they don't.
Yeah.
When they show up at the end, it's almost like, I always like, to me, it doesn't feel like they are on the same level as the girl. That they kind of like her food supply or something.
Well, you definitely feel like she's taken something from them and have control of them.
Oh, and then the shockwaves, which is another weird angle on it.
Which again, I want that to work. I remember as a kid hearing about that movie, going, "Oh man, this movie's gonna be great." And
it's not great, but I like it. I like it. I think it's a creepy film.
I think, and it works, even though that it's a bloodless film, which is weird.
Yeah.
I always forget Peter Cushing's in it because he's really not important to it. But I like it. To me, it's a creepy hour and 10, 15 minutes of Nazis underwater and Carnival of Souls kind of thing, to be honest. But I think it works. I mean, they're really creepy. But yeah, now everything is kind of like as much gore, the gore and the we're holed up in a place. Well, even they had that Night of the Living Dead too. But it's really funny because if you watch Hell of the Living Dead, it is the biggest ripoff of Dawn of the Dead because it's literally just follow. What if we had 4 guys from the National Guard,
just driving around,
and they were all brain damaged, and they literally have the Roger and the other guy, and they have them shooting up some people, some terrorists at the beginning, and then they go to an island, and it's It's so bad. I mean, I think everybody needs to see Hell of the Living Dead. The
Yes.
Pit. I didn't like The Pit.
I like the pit.
I
I
didn't
think
love
it's,
it. I
yeah,
didn't hate it, but I didn't love it. I kind of wanted the kid to go into the pit a lot. I wasn't a big fan of the kid.
yeah, for some reason I really liked it, but
I think Jugface, is it Jughead or Jugface, kind of reminded me of the pit a little bit in
oh
some
really?
ways.
Yeah, I haven't seen that.
Yeah, I didn't like that much. I thought it
Well,
had some good ideas. But
we're
yeah,
kind of
we're
yeah,
long.
we're going at the almost 3.5 hour mark, so we probably should be wrapping this up.
Yep. I hope
But
you people enjoyed my new camera,
yeah,
my stupid toys.
and thanks for everybody that came out. If hope we got to your questions and shit. And
Hold on, I have to do
you
that.
know,
I'm
if
going to do
there's somebody who says hi from
Carnival Trolls
Mexico,
one more time.
Evans.
Hello, greetings from Mexico. Hello. Hey, there's a Mexican film I need to watch. I don't remember the names of it, but it's one of those lucha libre versus monsters. I've been seeing clips of it on Instagram, and it looks like
Okay.
somebody said it was the Avengers. What's the new Avengers movie coming in?
Oh, Doomsday.
Somebody said it's like the Avengers Doomsday or the Avengers Endgame. I don't remember because you got Santo, you got Blue Demon. I know some of the other masks.
Yeah.
Kids took over their masks,
Right.
like Mr. Niebla or Teneblis. I don't know, but they're fighting all these other wrestlers, and they're also fighting minis. They've got all the mini wrestlers in these little red superhero outfits,
Right.
and the minis are beating the shit out of these guys, right? But whenever they beat up a mini, they cut and they're using a rag doll, a doll of the mini, and they throw them into machines and blow them up.
That's awesome. I
You
love
got it. There's the guy on Instagram who does shit. I'll send it to you. He just discovered it, it's called like the super or something, and it's a color. It's a later one, and this fight goes on. It just goes on for minutes, and they
Yeah.
just keep sending more guys in. But
Send more guys.
whenever they beat up a mini, they will set a dummy on fire or blow it up.
Wow.
And the thing is, they don't care what the dummy looks like, so it's bending all over. And they take this one guy and they throw the little mini into a machine, and it blows up, and it's fucking beautiful.
Wow.
I find those hit and miss. As much as I love lucha libre and I love monster
Right.
stuff, they can be really boring. But this one looks absolutely amazing.
Cool.
Really
Yes.
good.
Give me the name of that.
I
Okay,
will.
everybody. Thank you.
Thanks for hanging out with us.
Stand out.
Hopefully, we'll we always say this, but if we don't do a podcast, we'll come back and do another one of these
Yeah.
soon.
You'll see us
And
unless the world ends.
we can all bet on that now. We can all try to
Right.
make money for the end of the world, and where will we spend it?
All right. Good night,
Thanks for
everybody. I'm
hanging out
shutting
with
this
us.
off. Good night.
Take
Good
care, everybody.
night. Good night. I'm shutting it off. I'm saying end stream. It didn't end stream because of this thing's in this way.
I keep thinking my hands